And so actually, it was a pretty smooth holiday week.
CBS News correspondent Jim Krasula reporting now on new trouble down on the farm.
Agriculture officials in Nebraska say nearly 2 million more chickens must be killed after bird flu was found on a farm in the northeastern part of the state. It's the latest sign that the outbreak continues to spread. It's already caused the slaughter of more than 50 million chickens nationwide.
The virus poses little risk to people. Human cases are rare, and infected chickens aren't allowed in the nation's food supply. Meantime, chicken is getting more affordable again.
The Wall Street Journal reports prices for chicken breasts have plunged about 70% since the first week of June, when they weighed in at more than $3.50 a pound. That's triple what they were at the start of 2021.
Poultry companies have increased production. A stalled vehicle 270 westbound to Lindbergh Boulevard. Be prepared to stop. There's another stall 55 northbound past 255. That is on the right shoulder. The KMOX forecast for this afternoon. Still waiting for the sunshine in downtown St. Louis. The high 55. Clear tonight, the low 45. 65 the high tomorrow before showers arrive and turn to some snow showers, and the temperatures plummet into the upper 20s by Wednesday morning. Right now it's cloudy and 46 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Carol Daniel, KMOX News.
So my biggest fear is there's going to be snakes in the toilet.
We're all afraid of that one strange thing. I'm Larry Mullins, the host of a new short 10-minute podcast called Your Weirdest Fears. We unpack where these fears come from.
A rat climbed into my toilet.
And learn how to manage them. Listen and subscribe to Your Weirdest Fears on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Well, I'm sure you've done some Christmas shopping already. Maybe you took advantage of Black Friday deals or Cyber Monday. Well, if you're thinking about Christmas shopping, here's what you'll need to do. Go to salarmymidland.org and join me and the Salvation Army in support of their Angel Tree program. The Angel Tree program is truly one of the most unique programs helping those in need right here in our community. So the Angel Tree program helps provide gifts for children who otherwise wouldn't have any gifts to open on Christmas morning. And what you'll do is you can adopt an angel. An angel is a child in need, and you can go online at salarmymidland.org and click on Adopt an Angel, or you can find an angel tree at malls, churches, organizations, and pick an ornament. And when you adopt that angel, you'll get a list of that child's specific wants and needs for Christmas. Then you go shopping for that child and then get the gifts to Salvation Army. You can ship it to the Salvation Army or drop it off, and the Salvation Army will make sure that that child receives those gifts in time for Christmas. Last year, the Salvation Army helped 4,000 children in the St. Louis area alone. 4,000 children who otherwise wouldn't have had any gifts to open on Christmas because maybe their family is struggling to pay rent or pay utilities or to pay for food and have to put Christmas gifts further down the list. So to help out, to adopt an angel, go to salarmymidland.org.
The holidays are upon us. Call Zero Res now before the rush. Get 3 rooms Zero Res clean starting at just $129 and get a free room of fiber protectant for an $80 savings plus $50 off your air ducts. Call 314-474-2020 or book online at ZeroResSTL.com.
Driven by the Bommarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX. Your home of the Cardinals.
Arenado swings and hits it deep to left field. That ball is out of here.
The Billikens.
Jumper. Yes! Billikens win!
The Chiefs.
Touchdown! Kansas City!
We are America's sports voice, KMOX.
Time down! Go, time down! Go, time down! Xi Jinping! Xi Jinping! Xi Jinping! Xi Jinping! 不承认!
Protests ongoing in China as COVID restrictions have been pretty severe over the last couple of years, and the people there are starting to fight back again, a bit against that Chinese government. Amy Marks Corps' Chris Ranji on the show this morning. Good to have you with us, and it is good to be joined now by CBS News UN correspondent Pam Falk, who is with us now as we discuss the situation that is ongoing in China. Pam, good morning. How you doing?
Very well. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Amy. Yeah, these are very unusual shows of opposition to the ruling Communist Party, and they've gone on for almost 3 days now.
Yeah, Pam, watching the videos, hearing the chants of down with the party, down with Xi Jinping, free Xinjiang. I mean, that's quite extraordinary when you are in China. If you were to say something that is against Xi Jinping or against the CCP, you are taking your own life in your hands. And
Right.
for this many people to push back is stunning. And I know part of that is not just the severe draconian restrictions, but the fact that people in China who are locked down, can't leave their apartments, are watching the World Cup and seeing hundreds of thousands of people gathered and wondering, are we living on a different planet?
Absolutely. It sort of highlighted what the problem is with the censorship and with the restrictions. So this, if you take a piece of what we all went through for 3 years, and then sort of we all think of it as post-COVID, even though COVID's really still out there, but we're going to take our own level of advice and counsel and social distancing. That's the United States today. China never let up on this zero COVID strategy, which was absolute shutdowns, cities shut down, people restricted into their apartments, including up to 1 million at a time. And so they're at a breaking point at a moment, Amy, when the COVID cases have now risen. And today there's about 40,000, which is almost the same amount with no symptoms. But those are new COVID cases, which, by the way, is about the same as the United States. The difference is China's about 90% vaccinated, but only about 60% of senior citizens have been boosted. And of course, their vaccine is not, it's not known to be by experts quite as efficient as the mRNA ones that are around Western Europe and in the United States. So that, in addition to a major, 10 people died, but a deadly fire in Urumqi, which is part of Xinjiang region, where people felt, the government has denied it, but people felt people burned to death because they couldn't get out of their restricted homes. And that is probably the most frightening image that anyone could have conveyed in sort of spiking and provoking these protests.
Part of the problem, and you mentioned their vaccine in China, or vaccines available to them, are not as good as the ones we have available to us, but they refuse to use the good ones. What is the objection? And is there any chance that maybe they forget about that, use the ones that are better, and then maybe they can let people actually go outside?
It's a good idea, but it doesn't seem to be what they're looking at. What they're looking at is some Band-Aids. I mean, is trying to lift the restriction here. They said in the city where the fire was, they would reopen some parts and have public bus service again. I mean, small things that really aren't going to do it. Your idea is a good one. It's just that they produce their own vaccines, and so they don't want to leave that production and the money that's made through vaccines to other countries, or other companies. So they seem to be on a route to continuing with their vaccines. But the world is a global place. I mean, just closing people down hasn't stop the spread of the vaccine, and that's what they're seeing. At the same time, you say you don't like this approach, you say what you just said, and you're in jail. So it is morphing into more of a discontent about the regime and about censorship. And that's when if you both looked at those videos, you saw people holding up white 8x10 or 12x9 sheets of paper. That means we don't like censorship.
It's just absolutely stunning and inconceivable that the people of China have been have been subject to 3 years, almost
Yeah.
3 years of unrelenting control and lockdowns, restrictions. They've been sealed in their homes. They've been
Yeah, food is short.
Food is short, right? I know in Shanghai months ago that was the shutdown. Like they quite literally build walls in front of stores so that stores don't even have the option of opening, and people are quite literally sealed in their apartments, and they were yelling outside on their patios, yelling for hope because they were losing their minds. And as you said, not just being taken away to quarantine centers, but not being able to find food, not being able to see your family. This is a cruel and unusual punishment for an entire population that is
Right.
impossible for us to comprehend here in the United States.
Yes, and there were unconfirmed videos of people trying to get out of that burning fire saying we can't, there are blocks on our doors. And so we don't know if that's true. The government's denied it's true, but the whole idea that you would be locked in to death it was just a culmination of everything you're talking about, is just feeling like you just what's life worth if you can't move around, if you can't do something? I mean, put on your mask and move. And that's not what they're doing.
Pamela Falk from CBS News with us on the Quiver River guest line. And we heard the chants, we heard the protests right before we started the segment. And you have people saying down with the president there. What are the odds, or how possible would it ever be for the people there to initiate him stepping down in some way? That seems very, very unlikely. It seems more likely that those people will end up in trouble. But I'm wondering if there could be enough groundswell to force some sort of change.
I think somewhere in between what you're talking about, Chris. In other words, it's more likely I want to backstep. He just won a third, I mean, according to the party Congress, but he was just elected for a third fifth-year term. So he is very powerful in China. The party leadership is with him. You look back at 1980s when there were, of course, the famous riots and demonstrations. It didn't have the kind of leadership that and sort of consolidated leadership that Xi Jinping has. Nonetheless, he is clearly hearing this and responded as of today, saying that some of these restrictions will be lifted. Now, it may not be enough, but they may at least get some kind of relief. And no country can bear that kind of public opposition, particularly China, that has existed on keeping that kind of protest quiet and suppressing it at all costs. Now, what we've also seen, by the way, is that it's moved into Hong Kong. So Hong Kong started protesting on the weekend and today, and that's going to present them with another series of problems. I mean, if you keep repressing people from saying anything, they find a way, and that's not sustainable. So I think lifting the restrictions are probably more likely, but then there might be more cases, and that's what they're worried about.
Yeah, and any information that we get out of Hong Kong or out of China is also extraordinary because so much of that, so many of those pictures and those recordings are completely dependent on the brave actions of rogue journalists or citizens of China who are willing to take the risk to their physical safety, their family's safety, to get that information to the global press, the U.S. press, or online outside the CCP censorship. Pam, I did want to ask you too.
There are also, by the way, just on that point, sorry, Amy, is just that they arrested a BBC journalist who was able to get part of the arrest on camera. He was beaten up in custody. they gave some kind of excuse. But when you see foreign journalists being beaten up, it also extends the message. But go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's crazy what has to be done to get information out of China. And quickly going back to the vaccines in China, how they're less effective. I know that the cases of COVID rising and the effects of that could be amplified also by a complete lack of natural immunity, because people in China have been locked down and they haven't been exposed to the virus.
Yeah, exactly. What Chris said earlier also, Germany is trying to get China to use Western vaccines, but they've, so far they've rejected it. But it's not without an argument. And on your last point, Amy, they are just trying to get something to be done. There's so many people, and they're trying to make sure that they are not continually locked up. And the Chinese censorship has scrubbed the internet for all of these demonstrations, for information about the fire in Xinjiang. And so they're feeling like, look, they don't even get the news except for through clandestine sources that could end up with them in jail. So the patience is just wearing really thin.
Pam Falk, we appreciate your time as always. Thanks for being with us this morning.
Good to talk to you both. Be well.
Yes, same to you. That is Pamela Falk from CBS News. And what's going on over there is pretty insane. And again, your text message is always welcome, 314-436-7900. And we have a texter from an 847 says there's surveillance here in the United States just as bad as anywhere. No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
No.
Like what we did and how we've handled the pandemic over the last 2+ years, nothing like what has been going on in China. It isn't even remotely close. We'll tell you what's trending on the show next on KMOX.
Well, I know people have kids in town from college, family members in town, and now's a great time to take care of those doctor's appointments, especially your eyes. And of course, I'm talking about the ophthalmology associates, the Doctors Birdie, Malhotra, Brusati, and Royer. I recently saw Dr. Birdie, and, getting an annual eye exam, first of all, is covered under most people's insurance plans. It's also a great way to keep track of your overall health. If something's going wrong with your eyes, whether you're seeing a little bit of blurry vision, or maybe there are halos around lights at night when you're driving, maybe you have red eyes, itchy eyes, scratchy eyes. Sure, it could be allergies, but it could also be a sign of something else, something more serious. And the doctors are experts in the diagnosis and treatment of all kinds of diseases of the eye, whether it's dry eye, allergy eyes, cataracts, macular degeneration, glaucoma. They're also experts in LASIK surgery. So you want to give them a call, make an appointment, get your annual eye exam. 314-966-5000, 314-966-5000, yourEyeDoc.com.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager, learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
The Dave Glover Show is excited to partner with Hardee's and Operation Food Search for the holiday food drive. While supplies last, stop into any metro area Hardee's and make a donation of at least $1 to benefit Operation Food Search and receive a limited edition DGS holiday bumper sticker. All donations will benefit Operation Food Search to help children and families facing food insecurities. Get all the details about the campaign, or if you want to make an online donation, head to the KMOX.com events page now.
They say a good craftsman never blames their tools, and the best always choose the right one for the job. For the builders and makers of this world, nothing beats knowing you've got what you need to get the project done. Northern Tool is a problem solver's paradise. And with savings of up to 50% off and great new deals dropping every week, we've got the perfect gift for all the solvers on your list. We're made for this. Come see us in store or shop online at northerntool.com.
Merry Christmas.
Wow, another popcorn tin. Gee, thanks.
Not this year. This time I went to Pop Pop Hooray.
You mean the place with over 50 flavors of popcorn?
Yep, and I filled your bucket with 3 flavors I knew you'd love.
Only 3?
I also got you this gift card so you can try as many flavors as you want.
Oh my God, I love it. This is the best gift ever.
Pop Pop Hooray, with locations in Ferguson and new location in St. Charles in the Bass Pro Shop Plaza, or online at poppophooray.com. More flavor, more fun, endless popability.
Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Find the car you want, new or used. Get it at Clement, get pre-approved. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. ClementAutoGroup.com.
Now your Bite This Network traffic report. It looks like every vehicle in the country is currently headed to Hardee's for a saucy A1 double cheeseburger for only $2.99. You heard that right. Every single car, truck, and annoying electric scooter thing all heading to Hardee's. But don't take a detour. Hit the brakes on your hunger with a Charbroil Double Deal. Bite into the new A1 double cheeseburger for only $2.99, only at Hardee's. Tax not included. Available for limited time at participating Hardee's restaurants. Price may vary. A1 is a registered trademark of Kraft Foods used with permission.
Home Sweet Home mission is to give underserved families a sense of pride and to improve the quality of their lives by providing basic household furnishings. To learn more, go to homesweethomestl.org.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444. Amy Markscourt.
Fabulous.
Chris Ranji.
Unbelievable.
On the show.
What is it? What's happened? What's going on? What do you know?
What just happened?
What happened? I need to know.
Trending now on the show.
Trending, sponsored by Old Town Donuts in Florissant and Cottleville. Amy, what do you have?
Well, you know what's trending, Ranj? Diet Coke. Yeah, Diet Coke is trending.
Oh, I know why. Oh, God.
Elon Musk posted a picture on Twitter 7 hours ago. It's a picture, and the caption is, "My bedside table." So let's look at this bedside table. On it is a gun of some sort, some type of handgun, and then a box.
A huge handgun, by the way.
It looks really big. I don't know what it is. It's big. And then next to the handgun or the gun is a box with an old-timey gun in it. And the box, I don't know, it looks old-timey. It's wooden. I don't know.
Like late 1700s, because there's a painting of Washington crossing the Potomac.
Yes, the Delaware.
The Delaware.
Yeah, he's crossing the Delaware. And that picture is painted on the box. And then there's a bottle of water, a glass bottle of water with a little bit of water in it, and 4 Diet Cokes that look to be empty.
No.
So a couple
Amy,
of guns. Yeah.
I would like to correct you.
Okay.
Those are 4 caffeine-free Diet Cokes.
Caffeine. You're right. Is that why they're gold?
Yes.
Yeah. 4 caffeine-free Diet Cokes.
Yeah, I don't really know what the purpose of Elon is, other than just be an attention seeker, troll, something. I don't know clearly he wants everybody to see the guns.
I don't know.
I honestly think he's just trying to appeal to people on the right fringe.
I think he's just a troll.
Yeah, a troll who's
giant
trying to
troll.
appeal to right-wing fringe people now.
I don't know.
For some reason.
And caffeine-free Diet Coke.
I don't know I don't understand what that's all about. He's such a weirdo.
Yeah.
You know what else is trending?
What?
Leo,
like Leonardo DiCaprio?
not Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, like Leo the lion?
No. How about Lionel Messi?
Oh.
You ever heard of Lionel Messi?
I have.
He is one of the great soccer players. And he's, in his mid-30s now, so it's not like it used to be. But he's one of the great soccer players of all time.
Yep.
There have been reports starting yesterday. They even talked about it on the broadcast of the World Cup game with Croatia, that he is close to signing with Inter Miami, which is the MLS team
Really?
in Florida, which is not completely unheard of. David Beckham, you remember, he signed over here. Carlos
the
Valderrama
Galaxy.
years ago with the MLS. It does happen where some of these premier players, overseas players, end up coming to the MLS, but usually they come here well after their prime.
It's like going out to pasture.
Yeah, kind of. But still, it's a very if
it sounds
Messi
rude.
ends up here,
Mhm.
that's as big of a name in soccer as you can get.
Yeah.
Worldwide, he's like Ronaldo. Like, he's huge. So
How big would that game be if STL City
well,
played
that's why I already
Miami?
told Steve
Yeah.
if he does and they end up coming here, I don't know what the schedule would be.
Mhm.
He's got to get tickets like right now. Start working on them right now.
Messi in St. Louis.
Honestly, when that happens, they should just play at the Dome.
Well, but you have
Seriously.
to christen the new stadium.
You do, but they
With
should
that
just play.
season?
How are you going to fit 60,000 people who are going to want to watch that game?
I know. But you can't not do it at the new stadium.
Yeah, it's got to be at the new stadium. You're
Yeah.
right. But that would be very cool. Very, very cool. It'd be like Tom Brady signing with the Battlehawks.
Oh my gosh.
Amy Marks, chorus, Chris Ranji on the show. Hour 2 coming up.
Staying warm this winter is the utmost importance for your family and your employees. So when it comes to residential or commercial electric, Reinhold Electric is the answer. I'm going to give you their number in just a moment, but if you have any issues with power to your furnaces, baseboard heaters, hanging electric heaters maybe in your shop or your garage, floor heat, driveway heat, snow melt systems, how about backup generators? Because when the power goes out during winter storms, there is nothing like having a backup generator in line that will fire up as soon as the public utilities shut down. It's a phenomenal experience. My father installed one years ago. It's the best money he ever spent. Reinhold Electric can do that for you. So when you have a residential or commercial need of electric work being done, call on Reinhold Electric. They work all over the area, all the way down to Lake of the Ozarks as well. Call them at 314-631-1158. That's 314-631-1158 and online at reinholdelectric.com. Tell them Bo sent you to Reinhold Electric.
If you or someone you know is experiencing a suicide, mental health, or substance use crisis, call, text, or chat 988 for free, confidential, and compassionate support. When you call, text, or chat 988, trained crisis specialists will listen to your concerns, provide support, and get you the help you need. There is hope. The Lifeline works. For 24/7 confidential support, just call, text, or chat 988. A message from the Missouri Department of Mental Health.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The home of the Cardinals, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Maureen talks about her experience using 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
I had for years been dreaming how I wanted my kitchen down to every detail. When 3-Day Kitchen and Bath came, they were thrilled to death that I knew exactly what I wanted. They came back with a drawing and it was perfect. It was exactly what I wanted. They came in, they did their thing, and it turned out as perfect as I imagined it. The quality of it is beautiful. It's amazing. It is beautiful. They were efficient. They were trustworthy. The recommendations were unquestionable. And they were going to do exactly what I wanted. I had a lovely experience.
Start your remodel today by visiting 3daykitchen.com.
At 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Hi, Kent Newbold for Newbold Toyota. Your car is worth more than ever before, so why trust the Amateurs for your servicing? Come see the factory-trained experts at Newbold Toyota in O'Fallon, Illinois, or newboldtoyota.com. You'll be sold on Newbold.
Give the gift that's hard to wrap, but easy to give. The Steel Holiday Gift Guide has outdoor power tools and more for everyone on your list. Visit your local Steel dealer or go online to stihlusa.com/gift guide.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 11 o'clock, it's a cloudy sky and 48 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun. Our top story this hour. Back to school today for some students at a South St. Louis high school that experienced a shooting last month.
This is Kevin Killeen outside the campus where the October 24th shooting left 3 dead, a teacher, a student, and a former student who was the shooter, and several others injured. The Central Visual and Performing Arts School remains out on virtual learning. It's 383 students, but more than half of the 336 students at the collegiate side, the School of Medicine and Bioscience, are back in their desks. They decided it's time to come back, and they hope to have all of the students at this full campus back in person sometime after the Christmas break.
The white gunman who massacred 10 black shoppers and workers at a Buffalo, New York supermarket has pleaded guilty to murder and hate-motivated terrorism charges. Erie County District Attorney John Flynn tells WKBW the shooter will spend life in prison with no chance of parole.
Justice has been done today. But while justice has been accomplished, nothing will ever bring back the 10 beautiful people who lost their lives on that day.
The 19-year-old used a legally purchased semi-automatic rifle to gun down victims at the supermarket in May. He said in writings posted online that his goal was to terrify black people and preserve white power. The Supreme Court today will consider a pair of cases that could make it harder to pursue public corruption prosecutions. CBS News legal analyst Thane Rosenbaum.
In recent years, the Supreme Court has heard a number of federal corruption, wire fraud, and bribery cases, finding that too often prosecutors were exceeding the boundaries of the crime, meaning convicting people under statutes that were never intended for that purpose. The same conduct was not being prosecuted by the state, which was an indication that federal prosecutors may be overreaching.
Consumers are looking for more discounts on this Cyber Monday.
Cyber Monday is expected to remain the year's biggest online shopping day, with up to $11.6 billion in sales. That's according to Adobe Analytics, which tracks transactions at over 85 of the top 100 online stores in the U.S. That forecast represents a jump of about $1 billion consumers spent last year. Adobe's numbers are not adjusted for inflation, and some analysts have said top-line numbers will be boosted by higher prices. I'm Shelley Adler.
Yesterday was the busiest travel day since the start of the pandemic. Director of St. Louis Lambert International Airport, Rhonda Hamnabrigi.
It was the same here. It was the busiest day we had of the year. We had 21,428 passengers go through our security checkpoint. So that's not counting the connecting traffic or any of the deplaning. And that was for us the busiest day of the year.
The First Mid Bank and Trust Business Desk revised that resume.
The tight labor market is pushing more companies to rethink the need for a college degree. According to the Wall Street Journal, companies such as Google, Delta Airlines, and IBM have reduced educational requirements for certain positions and shifted hiring to focus more on skills and experience. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
And cryptocurrency lender BlockFi is filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection as the fallout from the collapse of FTX continues. The Dow from Stifel's down 246 points to 34,100. And right now we've got a crash on 6440 going east. It's before Hampton. The left lane is closed to stall I-170 south before Ladue. On the right shoulder, stall 270 north on the ramp from Doherty Ferry. Watch out there.
Temperature's not too bad this afternoon. We should peak out at about 55, but tomorrow is going to be the warmest of the week. Look for a mix of clouds and sunshine the rest of the day. Tonight, mostly cloudy, 42. Tuesday, windy and warm. Changeable sky, mix of clouds and sunshine, 64. But coming into that warmth is a strong cold front in the northwest flow Tuesday night. With it, periods of rain, and there will be some thunderstorms around, something we'll have to keep an eye on. And then all of that, with limited moisture left over, could end as a little bit of light snow or snow flurries very late Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning. It's mainly a rain and thunderstorm event, windy and 30 degrees Tuesday night, Wednesday and Thursday sunny and cold, 38. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray for the Voice of St. Louis. KMOX.
Sponsored by Reinhold Flooring. Want beautiful first-class flooring at a competitive price? Call Reinhold Flooring. With professional craftsmen and a knowledgeable, caring sales staff that helped earn them St. Louis Magazine's best flooring store 2 years in a row. Schedule a free in-home measure and consultation at ReinholdFlooring.com. 48 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than four? 314-441-4444.
Hour 2 of the show on KMOX. Amy Marks, Chris Ranji with you today until 1 o'clock. Then Dave Glover takes over. We're going to sit with him for an hour, and Kevin Wheeler, who is part of that show as well. And we've been talking a lot, really, since this show started, and even before that. I know you, Amy, were talking a lot about this issue, the stolen cars and car safety in the city of St. Louis. Well, joining us now is Pat Kelly, who's the executive director of the Municipal League of Metro St. Louis. And now there is a task force, an auto theft task force that is trying to make the situation better here in St. Louis. And Pat joins us in studio. Good morning, Pat. Thanks for coming in.
Great. It's thanks for having me.
So I know you're here first and foremost to remind people when it does get cold, don't warm up your car with the keys in it and go back in the house and let it warm up, right?
Yeah, that's been a trend for a number of years that usually when you come back out, you're going to have to walk to work.
Yeah,
right?
your car's gone. Yeah, so don't do that. But
I had two close friends.
You're kidding me.
Yes, two close friends. Okay, so one friend warmed up the car. He came back out. The car was gone, right? Another friend, they were packing for vacation. And so they packed everything in the car for a week-long trip to Florida and then ran back in to get the kids and ran back out with the kids and the car and everything in it, diaper bags, car seats, baby clothes, everything was gone, including her purse, which had the keys to their other car in it. So the next day, in the middle of the afternoon, guess who showed up and stole their other car?
You're kidding.
No, and they lost two cars.
So this is lesson number one for this segment is you're going to just deal with your car being cold for a couple of minutes when you're in it. Do not leave the keys in it. Then it doesn't matter what neighborhood you live in, right? I think people think, well, I live in Chesterfield. It's fine. It's not fine.
No, absolutely not. And it's not just St. Louis County. It's St. Louis City, County, and St. Charles and surrounding counties as well.
Yeah. So you have a task force, an auto theft task force now that's being implemented in St. Louis County. And was this fashioned after the task force that was created in St. Charles County about 2 years ago?
Yeah. As you said, about 2 years ago, St. Charles County was having has seen a huge increase in stolen cars. And so the police departments started working together. Initially, they created what they call a saturation task force and just kind of collaborate a lot more communication-wise on focusing on stolen cars. And that has evolved into what they're calling now is their task force because they use different things and grew their processes in order to build this task force, which has been very successful. Last year, they reduced their stolen cars by over 40% in St. Charles County.
And so that's being done despite the fact there are particular makes and models of cars that are more susceptible to being stolen, correct?
Yeah, I mean, if you ask them, they say, well, they kind of look for those cars because a lot of times they're stolen, but the reality, if you look at statistics, if the IKEAs weren't being stolen, they'd probably be stealing something else. So the number of stolen cars really hasn't increased because of that. It's just that they're focusing on that one style.
Well, the Kias and Hyundais, which are, there's something about them, the way the ignition is, you can use a USB port or something to be able to do that. What recourse do people have? And I know that there has been an ask of the manufacturers to change the way the cars are built, and they're not going to do it. So what recourse do people have?
Well, I to be honest, I don't know the answer to that. We really aren't focused on that specific issue. As you said, certain people have written letters and those kinds of things. But really, that's something that the manufacturer is going to have to resolve if they want people to keep buying their cars, right? So, but we're focused on in St. Louis County what happened or what has happened within the last year is we're just seeing. It's not only just stolen cars, but it's the individuals that are doing it. Almost all the time they're armed now. We're not seeing just stolen cars in the middle of the night. We're seeing it in the middle of the day on Sunday afternoons and in St. Louis County, throughout St. Louis County, armed individuals going through cars and then threatening people if they confront them. And, so the police departments in St. Louis County, the police chiefs working through the Police Chiefs Association, which includes St. Charles County, wanted to model a task force in St. Louis County like they did in St. Charles. I think they actually just held what they're calling a saturation initiative, where a number of the police departments collaborated over an evening and just coordinated their efforts. I mean, really just a lot of communication. It was just a few days ago, they detained, I think, 210 individuals and cars. They retrieved 5 stolen cars and arrested 22 individuals for outstanding warrants. So they think for a first night that was pretty successful.
Yeah, and the numbers really are stunning. I don't know if you have numbers for St. Louis County. I know in front of me I've got the numbers for St. Louis City, and it was in the 180 days leading up to November 1st, like leading up to the beginning of November. St. Louis City had 3,656 car thefts, 20 cars stolen a day, which is just absolutely shocking. I think St. Louis County was close to 2,000 leading up to November. And I can only imagine the drain on the resources, law enforcement, as you mentioned, increasing confrontations with armed individuals. I know the mayor of Clayton, Michelle Harris, said not only is it concerning that these individuals are armed, but a lot of them are young people. They're minors with guns who are stealing these cars.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the major concerns is that a lot of this activity is being created are being done by juveniles, and this effort, the task force in St. Charles County, one of the reasons it's been so successful is a coordination between not only police departments but also the courts. In ensuring that when they apprehend somebody, that they're going to be held accountable in some way. A number of the departments in St. Louis County had already been working with St. Charles County because, unfortunately, when they're chasing or following some of these individuals, a lot of times they're making their way back into St. Louis County. So Maryland Heights, Florissant, Hazelwood, and Bridgeton police departments have been working when some individuals being chased back across the river. They notify those police departments, and they've been able to help apprehend some of them as they come across. The task force that St. Charles has built is, it's using all kinds of technology. They're using everything from drones. The Highway Patrol has been active with them using their helicopter. They have people that are trained, our officers are trained in just deploying tech strips so that when they're chasing a car, they can hopefully stop it before it gets into something that's dangerous for the general public. And so it's taken a while to build that. But we're hoping that after this first saturation detail that happened just a few days ago, that St. Louis County will start doing that as well. And
yeah, I'm sorry that there you mentioned once these people are caught, the appropriate punishment. Is there an issue with the laws, or is there an issue with the enforcement of the laws already on the books?
Well, I think there's maybe just an issue with the interpretation of when to hold somebody and when not to, especially when dealing with juveniles. We had an instance just back in September, a car coming back from St. Charles County. Bridgeton's police department was able to stop them. I believe there were actually 7 individuals in the car. They all take off running in different directions. They caught 4 of them, and they were all juveniles. There were guns in the car. It was a stolen car. They took them to the family courts in St. Louis County, and they did not detain any of them. Matter of fact, the Bridgeton police actually had to take them back home.
Really?
So yeah.
Why were they not?
So there is a scoring system that was established by the Supreme Court back in 2011 or 12. That when they bring in an individual, they have a scoring chart that they go by whether they're going to hold that individual or not. St. Louis County interprets that differently than St. Charles County does.
Is that the Missouri Supreme Court or the U.S. Supreme
The
Court?
Missouri Supreme Court.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think we're reaching out to them right now. I think the issue is even in just 11, 12 years ago, you weren't seeing the kind of crimes that you're seeing committed today by juveniles.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that what we're asking is that they find out exactly how St. Charles is interpreting those rules, but also if we need to make some adjustments to that through legislation, then we will.
And again, primarily legislation then. So is this not necessarily an issue that your task force is communicating with the prosecuting attorney, Wesley Bell's office?
We have not had a chance to meet with Mr. Bell yet, but we plan to. We have met with the family courts judges and the director of the juvenile detention center,
Mhm.
and we're working and continuing to work with them.
And I imagine having this task force too, it does show that law enforcement officials are paying attention to the crime that's taking place. We talk a lot about the city of St. Louis and how if there's a sense of lawlessness that tends to feed and tends to become a self-fulfilling prophecy, because if people are speeding down the streets, they're blowing through red lights, there is a sense that I can get away with anything. So the more you crack down on the car thefts in St. Louis County, logic would lead you to believe that it would also help be a deterrent and reduce people's even efforts to break into cars and steal them.
Right. I mean, that's a hope. I mean, we just want to have neighborhoods that are safe. And
Mhm.
so, I think the police, to their credit, the police chiefs, and they're going to use everything that they have available to them to do that for their communities. And you had mentioned one other thing is the
Mhm.
cost. And I think that's one of the things that is that we're working on from a municipal league standpoint, from the elected official standpoint, is looking for ways to help fund it, because all of this is done with overtime. And so when St. Charles County enacts their task force, they have over 40 officers on duty that are lent by other departments. And, they're working through St. Charles County Police Department's communication center. All the officers are wearing body cameras. All the cars have cameras in them. They have two patrolmen in a car instead of just one. And using things like drones and helicopters and so forth.
And you talk about the cost of it and the budget. Obviously, County Executive Sam Page has his proposed budget, and the county is looking at a deficit and are struggling to make that budget work. How does this fit into their budgetary plans?
Well, first, I'd like to say I think the municipalities realize that this is important, and that's not going to be the deciding issue whether they do the task force or not. But we're always going to look for ways that we can help supplement that. We went and talked with a representative for the state safety department just a few weeks ago, and we're trying to set up a meeting with the governor as well.
Last thing before we say goodbye, reasonable timeline. If everything goes the way you want it to go, or, there's always going to be a hiccup here and there, but a reasonable timeline for when you expect people to see some real results.
Well, I think we already saw them just the other night, and I think you're just going to see it grow as the saturation details become more successful. The coordination between the departments become that much better, and I think you'll just see that probably within about a year or so, we'll be working with and in conjunction with St. Charles County Task Force.
Pat Kelly, appreciate your time. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks. Great to be here.
That is Pat Kelly, the Executive Director of the Municipal League of Metro St. Louis, in studio here. Amy Markscore, is that your name, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think you said Mark's Cars because we were thinking about car theft.
My God, are you brilliant?
I know.
You're listening to the show on KMOX.
Well, STL Fence Works has been serving the St. Louis, St. Charles, Franklin, and Warren counties for over 50 years, since Russ and Carolyn Long opened STL Fence Works back in 1971. And I know we're all thinking about the holiday season. And if you are thinking about the perfect gift, what about a new premium vinyl picket or privacy fence, or perhaps a new deck? Something that you've been putting off and you just need that little extra motivation. check out stlfenceworks.com. It would be the perfect gift. And also, STL Fenceworks has made deeply discounted winter buys on vinyl fencing and aluminum fencing, and they pass on those savings to consumers. We're talking pre-pandemic costs. That's huge savings. And so you have great prices. You have great products. You have exceptional service and workmanship because they are locally owned and operated and family owned and operated. And because they have all those materials and supplies on hand, they can get the job done quickly. And I don't know anyone who can truthfully say all of that, but at STL Fenceworks, they can. So I highly recommend you check them out at stlfenceworks.com.
For everything online, it's Odyssey.com. Download the Odyssey app and listen to The Dave Glover Show and all the news, talk, sports, and podcasts that move you. Odyssey, that's AUDACY.
Be a part of St. Louis's newest holiday tradition at the Rep. Journey into the magical wonderland of the timeless classic, A Christmas Carol. Performances November 18th through December 30th. Tickets on sale at repstl.org.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE and frustrated taking pills that don't work, Paramount Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that effectively treat your problem. 98% of patients experience immediate results during their first office visit. And for a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Brown. The physicians at Paramount Men's Medical Center offer the most advanced treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Now men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Guys, to eliminate your frustration in the bedroom, call Paramount Men's Medical Center now to take advantage of this exclusive limited-time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free, and you'll see instant results right in the office. Call now, 314-720-8081. 314-720-8081. That's 314-720-8081.
The federal government is hiring 87,000 new IRS enforcement agents. Make no mistake, with spending out of control, they're looking to collect revenue. The first target will be you. If you have not paid your taxes or filed them in years, let me help you get that target off your back. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm here in St. Louis. So if you have unfiled returns, wage levies, bank levies, or tax liens, now's the time to call the Lance Drury Law Firm before the IRS calls you. Your consultation is free, so don't put it off. The Lance Drury Law Firm focuses solely on tax resolution law. It's all we do. And if you have IRS problems, you have legal problems. Let us use our tax law resolution experience to guide you and work on your custom resolution plan. Call now. It's free and confidential. Call me, Lance Drury, at 314-260-6120 or go to Lance, DRURY law.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Trusted information, live and local. From the award-winning KMOX Newsroom.
Welcome back, Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores here on the show. Ranj, I know we haven't gone very long without talking about Elon Musk, so we may as well talk about him now.
We just talked about him like a half hour ago.
I know, with his
We have to
Diet
keep
Cokes.
doing this?
We do. Here's the thing.
The next time we talk about Elon Musk, I
Mhm.
want it to be that he's selling Twitter to somebody.
That's not going to happen.
Oh, cool. All right, what do you
Who's
got?
going to buy it?
I don't know.
It's not like there's a
Who
huge
would?
pool of potential buyers out there.
Like in sports, they talk about bidding against yourself. I feel like Elon bid against himself for this.
Yeah.
Anyway.
This was not his best move. But billionaire Twitter owner Elon Musk, he tweeted over the weekend on Friday night, actually, that if Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, were to run for president in 2024, that Musk would support DeSantis. He described him as a sensible and centrist choice. Musk also said that he had been, quote, a significant supporter of the Obama administration and reluctantly supported Biden over Trump in 2020. He's been disappointed with the results of the last 2 years, and then he urged his followers to support Republicans. So Elon Musk has thrown his weight behind Ron DeSantis, assuming that DeSantis runs for president in 2024.
Okay. I don't know how I feel about the owner
Mhm.
of a major communication platform that people around the world are using. I don't know how I feel about them declaring who they're going to vote for, especially when he's got like 116 million users. I don't know how many people he's going to sway one way or the other. I think most people who follow him are probably in line with his way of thinking. It may have happened before. I don't know. Did Jack Dorsey make a declaration on Twitter who he was going to vote for? Did Mark Zuckerberg do that on Facebook? I don't know if I'm entirely comfortable with it. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
I honestly, it doesn't bother me because everybody, it seems, with any type of platform is making their political preferences known. They just are. And it can be with a tweet, it can be with a statement, it can be with a t-shirt, it can be with their political donations. We know, you tend to know who these big names, these big billionaire donations, which candidates they are backing financially. So to me, is it basically we're gonna know who Jeff Bezos or who Bill Gates gives money to. So what's the difference between Elon Musk tweeting on, putting on Twitter, "Hey, I'm supporting Ron DeSantis," when we know who these corporate CEOs are supporting. We know who actors and actresses and other influencers, prominent people support. I don't see this as any different.
The difference is those other people don't have unilateral control of the moderation of this platform. That's I think my uncomfortable feeling with it is that. Also, he can vote for whoever he wants to vote for, but the fact that he can suspend any account he wants to on his own whim or delete any tweets, whatever he deems to not be worthy of being on the platform or at odds, whatever of whatever mindset he has, he can have those people removed on a platform that is used by billions of people around the world. I think that's where I lie on this.
But I guess
that's kind of why I'm uncomfortable with it.
My question is, though, what does this declaration change? Did we have any doubt that he was a troll? Did we have any doubt that he was starting to express a lot of more right-wing views that would lend you to at least guess he would not be voting for the progressive candidate or the Democratic candidate? To me, this doesn't change anything. It's just saying out loud what we pretty much all assumed anyway.
You're probably right.
And it's just saying it out loud on a specific platform because, again, politics has been injected into every part of our life where even Oreo cookies or M&Ms, right, are making political statements on their Twitter accounts. And I understand that Oreo cookies and M&Ms don't run Twitter and Elon Musk does. But Jeff Bezos, Amazon, he also owns the Washington Post.
Yep.
That should be concerning for some, that think that, okay, this billionaire, this titan of Amazon, he also owns the Washington Post, but it is what it is.
But I doubt that. I don't know. I don't have the same sort of feeling that Bezos is moderating all of the articles and pieces that are written. That's a little bit different than Elon, who's on a whim makes decisions. And I think his first month of owning this platform have proven that. When we come back, we're going to find out why Amy is boring at work on the show.
Spend your afternoon with Dave Glover.
I had COVID. It sucked, but it was a few days. I definitely don't have long COVID. What I do have, though, I have COVID time displacement. Parts of time seem weird to me.
What does it feel like it should be to you?
It feels like it should be about 2014, 2015. And I'm telling everyone over waffles, like, no, listen to me. Listen, Donald Trump was president. They're like, shut up, Dad. What? I'm just like, no.
The Dave Glover Show. Weekdays now beginning at 1 on KMOX.
KMOX News Time is 11:29. Donate a car, get a tax receipt, and tickets to the St. Louis Aquarium at mersgoodwill.org.
How would you like to come home to a bartender who will fix you any cocktail you want?
I'll have an old-fashioned.
I'll have a margarita.
Now you can. with the Bartesian Home Cocktail Maker. Bartesian is a sleek machine the size of a coffee maker that makes premium cocktails at the touch of a button. Choose from over 50 different cocktails, from classics to the most exotic premium cocktails served in the best bars today. You'll always get freshly mixed, perfectly balanced cocktails with the Bartesian Cocktail Maker. And now get Bartesian's best Black Friday deal ever at bartesian.com/cocktail. Entertaining? The Bartesian is ideal for parties. No need to stock all kinds of individual mixers for complicated recipes. Every guest gets the cocktail of their choice in seconds. The Bartesian makes a wonderful gift for anyone who loves a fine premium cocktail. Now get Bartesian's best Black Friday deal ever. It's available right now, only at bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail for Bartesian's best deal ever, only at bartesian.com/cocktail.
At 11:30, it's cloudy and 48 degrees downtown at the Arch. China's government faced some of the largest public protests in decades over the weekend over strict COVID-19 lockdown policies that have failed to stop the virus from spreading there. CBS News correspondent Elizabeth Palmer.
A man shouts what until now few would even have dared say aloud. Xi Jinping! Down with Xi Jinping! Xi Jinping! Down with the Communist Party. There were public protests across the country over the weekend in at least 10 cities, including Shanghai.
Russian energy giant Gazprom announced it will not further reduce natural gas to Moldova as it had threatened to do. Last week, Moldova and Ukraine hit back at Gazprom's claim that Russian gas moving through the last pipeline to Western Europe was being stored in Ukraine. Some good news for drivers in the St. Louis region. Gas Buddy reports average gas prices fell 11.7 cents per gallon over the past week. That's more than 28 cents per gallon lower than a month ago and nearly 4 cents per gallon less than a year ago. The average gas price in St. Louis today is $3.10. And there's a crash on 6440 going east at I-170. Also some debris on 44 east at Grand. That's got the right lane closed. And the forecast for today, a mix of clouds and sun and a high of 55 degrees, according to Dave Murray. Mostly cloudy tonight, the low 42. Tomorrow's high 64 degrees, and then some storms move in tomorrow night. Sponsored by the Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company. Are you considering life insurance? Penn Mutual's accelerated client experience makes applying for life insurance fast and easy. Ask your independent advisor or go to pennmutual.com/STL. It's a cloudy sky and 48 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Hey guys, Glover here, and I see clearly thanks to Doctors Bertie and Malhotra, and you can too. Go to youridoc.com today or call 314-966-5000.
Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Yes, with inflation, interest rate increases, and a possible recession looming, we are no doubt facing uncertain times in the housing market. But as a realtor with over 20 years of experience, I can tell you, if you're thinking of selling your home, now more than ever, you need a realtor to help you through these times while saving you money. Hi, I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty, and we offer all of this for only 4%. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet Store.
Hi, this is Arnold, owner of the Good Feet Store. Does it feel like someone is stabbing a knife into your heel? Does your lower back hurt more and more as the day goes on?
I had to go nonstop from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day. Every time I stood up, pain just shot up my legs. Fortunately, I found the Good Feet Store. I went to them after my doctor diagnosed me with plantar fasciitis. Now, thanks to the Good Feet Store, I'm 100% pain-free.
Come to the Good Feet Store this holiday season and give the gift of pain relief to you and your loved ones.
Call 314-317-9494 or visit one of our 2 locations on Olive, Catty Corner from TGI Fridays, or in Shiloh, Illinois, across from Dearborg's.
Thanks to the Good Feet Store.
Individual results may vary. Consult your physician for medical conditions. Visit the website goodfeetstlewis.com. Come in and try the Good Feet feeling today. Flex spending and gift cards available. Some restrictions apply.
Your home of the Cardinals.
Arenado swings and hits it deep to left field. That ball is out of here.
The Billikens.
Jumper. Yes! Billikens win!
The Chiefs.
Touchdown! Kansas City!
We are America's sports voice. KMOX.
Well, the highest court in France has ruled that a man who was fired from his firm for failing to be, quote, fun enough at work. He was wrongfully dismissed. And
Oh.
speaking of fun at work, that's Chris Ranji. I'm Amy Mark Scores. And this man, he is referred to as Mr. T in court documents.
But he's not that Mr. T.
He's not that Mr. T. Just Mr. T, shorten his name to keep him safe. Anonymity. He refused to take parts in seminars and weekend social events. And Mr. T claimed that these events included excessive alcoholism and promiscuity. He argued that the, quote, fun culture in the company involved humiliating and intrusive practices, including mock sexual acts, crude nicknames, and obliging him to share his bed with another employee during work functions.
Hold on a second. Let me stop you. Let me stop you right there, Chief. What work functions involve your bed?
I don't know. Exactly. Ding.
So wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because at first when I saw the headline, I thought, well, yeah, I think sometimes we're asked to, have fun at work and do a stupid little game, which I don't want to do. But
you're not asked to do sexy time though.
you're not asked to do sexy time. It doesn't involve your bed or promiscuity or excessive alcoholism.
It's not good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what's going on over there.
It's
But
France.
it seems like, France, they do a lot of boozing,
Mm-hmm.
right?
And loving.
They do boozing and loving.
Remember the baseball game during the World Series? The French baseball game call. It was a run, ooh la la.
Oh, yeah.
That was the
ooh,
call.
la, la. Yeah, those people. You're right. So they love the boozing and the sexy time, and they love smoking.
Yep.
They're into the cigarettes as well.
I like that we're using a broad brushstroke to paint an entire country.
Oh, it's all French people. Listen, that's my it's my heritage.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a lot of French, and it's French, Serbian.
So is your
and,
name actually Ranger?
It is.
Is it?
It in French, it's spelled Ranger.
Oh.
Ranger.
Yeah. Ranger.
Anyway, so hey, I know about my people. I don't do the smoking and the other stuff, whenever it's appropriate, right?
It says apparently this is a thing though in France that there have been enough incidents that have highlighted the entrenchment of alcohol in the work culture as well as sexy time that some firms have introduced, quote, booze chaperones at company events to keep track of everybody, make sure it doesn't get too sexy.
Well, just like in high school at prom, you have to have a chaperone, right? Multiple chaperones to keep an eye on the kids who are trying to do the sexy time.
Okay, can I just read this part?
You can.
I'm sorry, this is such a great story. It's a horrible story. But the auditor at PricewaterhouseCoopers in England sued the company over severe injuries. So he was at a work event where excessive drinking is considered a competitive virtue. It said he fell down in the street, went into a coma, and later had part of his skull removed after participating in a company event.
Oh, man. Man, those people know how to have a good time.
Yeah.
Over there. What is funny to me about this story is you're the one that showed it to me.
Yeah.
Like you said, hey, you got to check out this story, right?
Yeah.
And I looked at the headline and I said, that headline speaks to Amy Mark Scores in a way that no other headline ever could. And here's the headline. This is the headline of the story. French man wins right to not be fun at work. And I said, God, that's Amy. Amy so desperately wants it to be okay that it's okay to not be fun at work.
Okay, first of all, you're the curmudgeon here. So I think yes.
There is nobody in this room more fun than me.
That is true.
You're boring.
The newsroom
Dave
loves
sucks.
you. Yeah.
Tyler over there, God knows what he's doing. I'm easily the most fun person in this room.
Which is weird because you're crabby, but you are a lot of fun and you love to bother people, and you do. So the headline, I feel like is an understatement of the issue at hand. French man wins right not to be fun at work. We're talking about excessive drinking, promiscuity, and sharing a bed with your coworkers. I mean, I guess
do
you
not
could
want to share a bed with you.
Oh, you're no fun.
Like who is he sharing the bed with? Like
I
I don't know. Like the janitor? Like who? I don't understand what's going on.
I think it's probably the guy sitting at the desk next to him.
But
Jacques.
how do you go from
Mhm.
being at work
Mhm.
and a work function to now it's bedtime?
Yeah, that's the surprising part because you
And-
can see
and-
how boozing it up and a little bit of sexy time happens at the company
Right,
party.
like afterwards.
Sure.
But this it's written as almost like it was expected.
Yes.
Like it was expected of you at this company event to later end up in bed with a coworker. Like what kind of place is this?
I don't know. I mean,
This is really fascinating to me.
Cubic Partners. That was the name of the company.
Man, I wish I spoke French.
Cubic Partners.
Could go work. What do they do? Like, what is Cubic?
Well-
Cubik. What do they do?
Cubik. Well, let's see here.
Go ahead and Google this because I wonder if maybe working at this place is it just like maybe there's like 25 or so people who work in the building and everybody kind of knows everybody and this guy was sort of an outsider.
It's a provider of management training and consulting services.
Wow.
Focused on lean management.
Lean management.
Mm-hmm.
Does that
So
mean?
they're consultants.
You know what that means? Probably.
What?
They go into a business and they tell you who you need to fire.
Right.
Like how many people you need to get rid of.
But I wonder why. I wonder if Cubic Partners is illustrative of many companies in France, which it seems like there are some companies, right, doing this. But, or if Cubic Partners is extra sexy. I guess if you are in bed, Cubic Partners makes sense.
This isn't.
Like if they're in a cubicle and then now they're sharing a bed, they would be Cubic Partners.
Do they not have sexual harassment laws?
I think they are
I mean, they have
a little
to.
behind the times.
They must.
Yeah.
So there is Article 222-33,
I love that article.
right?
Mhm.
In France of the criminal code. Harassment of others with the aim of obtaining sexual favors is punishable by 1 year of imprisonment and a fine of 15,000 euros.
Yeah.
That seems like a pretty hefty fine. Like, how has this company not been in massive trouble? It leads me to believe this is a frivolous lawsuit.
It's not a frivolous lawsuit.
This is a frivolous lawsuit.
This has been happening across France.
I don't know. I don't know if I believe it.
I believe it.
I think this guy's spinning yarns about what happens at
I don't
work.
know. We've had to do some activities at work.
Not like this.
Not like that.
Oh my God, the holiday party's coming up. Oh no, I'm not going.
314-436-7900 if you've had any weird work activities. Ours are just like, so in France, they're doing sexy time. Here, we're doing definitely ideas that would be like a kindergarten where you're broken up into, like, you pick a piece of candy and then all the matching candies sit in a circle and then you say 4 fun facts about yourself.
Hold on a second. That's what this is my first holiday party.
Oh no, I don't know if we do that at the holiday party,
Okay.
but we've done that at meetings.
Ew.
I know, because Kevin Wheeler, because Chris Myhill, the former executive producer of the Charlie Brennan Show, Chris Myhill and I sneaked out the door when they were handing out the candy, and Kevin Wheeler didn't know any better, the poor guy, and he took a piece of candy and then had to sit in a circle with everyone who had matching candy and had to share fun facts about himself.
That is what, you know what that is like. That's a surprise that I think the person who came up with that idea should be reprimanded.
What if it's our boss?
That here, hey, go here, pick a piece of candy.
Yeah.
Because that's an ambush, is what that is.
Yeah.
Pick a piece of candy, and then they
It's a
say,
bait
"Does
and
everybody
switch.
does everybody have a piece of candy?"
That's
yes.
your-
All right. Everybody with a Snickers, go sit over there.
That's
Like,
your classic
oh,
bait and switch.
Yeah, I didn't know you were going to do that to me.
Yeah. So you always
Oh,
have to sneak
wow.
out before the group activities.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think that's preferable to the harassy kind of activities that are taking place in France.
This guy got to take a nap at work. I mean,
With
granted,
his
it was in a
cubic partner.
it was in a bed with somebody else, but
Yeah.
he still got to take a nap.
Listen, buddy.
I think I'm skipping our holiday party.
Yeah, just to be safe.
Yeah. I don't want anything to do with whatever's going to happen there.
Yeah.
Here, take a beverage. Like, nope.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that because I'll take this Coca-Cola and you're going to ask me to go sit in a corner with all the other Coca-Cola people.
Mm-hmm. Okay, real quick. What are your 2 fun facts about yourself?
I don't have any fun facts.
Oh, come on.
I'm
Bunch.
just fun.
Hmm.
Speaking of fun, you know what would be really fun? Taking a cruise. Do you know what would be more fun than taking a cruise?
What's that?
Staying on the boat.
Oh, yeah.
We will tell you more about that on the show. It's Amy Marks Core's Chris Ranji on KMOX.
Winter Wonderland, presented by Byerly RV at Tillis Park, is open now through December 30th. Enjoy more than 1 million dazzling lights with holiday characters and festive scenes while listening to your favorite Christmas songs. You'll never see anything like Winter Wonderland at Tillis Park. More details at KMOX.com. And happy holidays from Washington University Orthopedics, Neighbors Credit Union, Kirkwood Fence, Design Air Heating and Cooling, and Telly Tire and Auto Centers. This is a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test. This has been a test of the emergency alert system. This was only a test.
Business is difficult right now, putting a lot of good workers at risk. If you're a business that needs flexibility with your workforce and don't want to lose your best employees, go to sharedwork.mo.gov and see what the Missouri Department of Labor can do for you.
They say a good craftsman never blames their tools, and the best always choose the right one for the job. For the builders and makers of this world, nothing beats knowing you've got what you need to get the project done. Northern Tool is a problem solver's paradise. And with savings of up to 50% off and great new deals dropping every week, we've got the perfect gift for all the solvers on your list. We're made for this. Come see us in store or shop online at northerntool.com.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
Hi, this is Brian with Velocity Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 314-782-5555. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition and any price range in the St. Louis area. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that needs updating, but you don't have the time or money for it? Great, because I love buying outdated houses. I buy vacant houses, behind on taxes houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 314-782-5555. That's 314-782-5555.
Hi, Kent Newbold for Newbold BMW. Your BMW is worth more than ever before, so don't trust your maintenance to a bunch of amateurs. Come see the factory-trained technicians at Newbold BMW in O'Fallon, Illinois, or at newboldbmw.com. You'll be sold on Newbold.
Furnish Hope right here in St. Louis. Donate your unneeded furniture and household goods to Home Sweet Home. Visit www.homesweethomestl.org to learn more.
The holidays are upon us. Call Zero Res now before the rush. Get 3 rooms Zero Res clean starting at just $129 and get a free room of fiber protectant for an $80 savings plus $50 off your air ducts. Call 314-474-2020 or book online at ZeroResSTL.com.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing, together millions of things for our planet.
Planning a road trip this fall? Maximize your fuel economy by inflating tires to proper pressure and packing light. When we each share our one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444. Amy Marks Course.
This is my show, my microphone.
On the show.
Text messages to the show at 314-436-7900. We have a lot of people who are texting in, would like to know what it costs to fly to France now.
Really?
Yeah.
It's interesting that they've been reaching out to us all morning.
Well, I mean, we just told the story
about the man
in France who was forced to sleep in a bed with somebody at work. And what else?
He got fired for not being fun.
For not being, quote, fun.
Yeah, at work.
Yeah, at work.
Which included excessive alcoholism and promiscuity and sharing a bed with a coworker.
And I don't know what that says about our listeners, but they really want to go to France now.
Yeah.
Another text message says, my wife's company taking them to Vegas for an employee-only retreat. She has to share a room with a coworker. I'm betting something is being lost in translation. Bed might mean room. I would hope it's not that simple. I mean, I would think that we would get that.
It was the bed?
Well, I would think that the Washington Post would be able to understand.
Is it weird that I wouldn't want to share a room with my coworkers? I mean, I guess if it was another lady, like if I had to share a room with Debbie, I'd be like, okay, we'll share a room. But shouldn't we have our own room? We're grown adults.
I had to do a spring training trip with people I worked with, and I really did not want to go because I knew we were going to have to share rooms.
Yeah.
I wasn't feeling it.
Yeah. And like I said, I wouldn't cry. It would be like, oh yeah, Debbie's cool. Let's watch a movie. We would have fun. It would be like a sleepover. But that's unusual because I'm friends with Debbie.
Right.
What if you're not friends with a coworker?
No, I totally agree with you.
Yeah, it seems like it's asking a lot. It seems like it's putting a lot of weight behind the word fun. A real liberal definition of the word fun.
Amy, how do you feel about cruises?
Well, I went on a cruise one time when I was 17. It was the second voyage of the ship, so it was very clean, and it was great, and I would probably never go again.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't like being stuck. I don't like being stuck or confined to small spaces, even though a cruise ship is big. I don't want to be stuck.
How would you like to be a gentleman on a cruise and then fall off the boat in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico?
That would be one of my worst nightmares. So here's the thing. My siblings and I were in Florida at the end of the summer. And what I did is we would swim out into the ocean far enough where, you can't touch. You're kind of far out there, not too far, but you can't touch. You're treading water. And I would have them, the swells of the ocean are going up and down. So you're bobbing with the swells, and this one swell in front of you, and you can't see the ocean. And then it goes down, it dips, and all you see is ocean and water. And I said, imagine we're in the middle of the ocean, the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, and this is all you can see. How terrifying is that?
Well,
and I said that pretty much every day.
Let me. You and I talk about the fears that we have.
Yeah.
And you know that I have the fear of being next to really big boats. I can be on one, I think, but being next to a huge ship.
Like if you're in a little boat.
A little boat next to a huge ship.
Yeah.
It just terrifies me for some reason. I don't know why. I think I was in a former life, like in a tugboat accident.
Oh.
That's what I think. That's what I think happened.
It might be, because why would you be so afraid of being in a little boat next to a big
it's
boat?
It's a very specific fear.
It is.
Authorities, the United States Coast Guard, is calling this a Thanksgiving miracle. A 28-year-old man went overboard on a Carnival cruise ship at about 2:30 in the afternoon in the Gulf. And because the Coast Guard in New Orleans got the call, he stayed in the water until, so I told you, 2:30 p.m. He stayed in the water until 8:25 p.m. the following day.
Oh my gosh. So over 15 hours. He was
Yes.
treading water in the Gulf of Mexico.
Yes. That's unbelievable.
That's crazy.
Yeah. No, I'm actually, I take that back. The call came in at 2:30. So at 11 o'clock Wednesday night, he went overboard, and they found him at 8:25 p.m. the next day.
So here's the thing.
So he somehow, without I don't think he had a flotation device, he was in the water for that long and had to tread water until the Coast Guard picked him up. You know how rare that is?
Yes. Well, not only that, think of how massive these cruise ships are. And I don't know what deck he was on, but obviously it was exposed. It wasn't like the second floor. You have to be high enough up where you are going to then fall off of the deck, fall off of the boat. How many stories did he fall?
I don't know.
Just surviving the fall alone. Treading water is incredible, but surviving the impact. Imagine jumping from 30 feet, 40 feet, 50 feet. That impact into the ocean?
Next to a huge ship?
How would you get sucked under?
That's what I would be afraid of. Like, I'm really terrified. Okay. The divers that go down to clean the underside of the boat.
Yeah.
That is the most terrifying idea for me that I could imagine. There's no way I could do it.
A barnacle boy?
Yes.
Yeah.
I could never do that. Like, I really commend those people. Like, I'm just intimidated by that. And
there's
the
something about boats and like just the dark water underneath
I don't like
the
it.
ship, and
Oh,
then
God.
that feeling of being sucked under the boat.
But
Yeah.
even knowing all this happened to this man who made it, they're calling it a Thanksgiving miracle, by the way, which I think is kind of amusing. I'm still more terrified of the toilets overflowing.
Anywhere.
Well, on a cruise ship.
Why on a cruise? See, I'm afraid of them overflowing anywhere. Sometimes I'll go to the bathroom, I'll flush the toilet, and I'll run out of the bathroom.
But see, that's the idea. You can run away.
You can.
And you can get far away from that bathroom and that place.
Yeah.
Like, let's say you know how much you love the mall?
I love them all.
I love them all too.
Love the Galleria.
I love the Galleria too. Imagine you go to the Galleria and all the toilets start to overflow, but you can't leave the Galleria.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
That's really scary.
But I'm not opposed to taking a cruise ship.
Well, apparently how this guy fell overboard, I don't know. An expert said the only way is to purposefully climb up and over the safety barriers.
So was he trying to kill himself?
I don't know.
And if you were, why would you
tread water?
Yeah, just go down with the
Must have
sharks.
been drunk.
Amy Marks Kors, Chris Ranji. Hour 3 of the show coming up next.
This season, give the gift of Cardinals ticket packs. 5, 6, and 10 game packs are on sale now and feature 2023's highest demand games and promotional giveaways. Choose from the opening day pack, the t-shirt pack, bobblehead pack, and more. New for 2023, check out the swag pack. Give the gift that lasts all season, all baseball season. Cardinals ticket packs start at just $54 and are on sale now at cardinals.com/holiday.
Join the team in 23 with season tickets and secure the best seats at Busch Stadium. There's a plan for every fan. Choose from full, half, or the popular 27 game plans. Season ticket holders receive their own dedicated Cardinals representative. Plus, receive access to postseason tickets, opening day, a membership to the Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum. For information, visit cardinals.com/season or call the Cardinals today, 314-345-9000.
When's the last time you checked your 401k balance? Well, let me prepare you. It's not pretty. The 40-year record high inflation has cost many Americans almost 25% of their 401k savings, and with a volatile market hinting at a possible worse recession, I'm worried. Are you? Meanwhile, President Biden was recently questioned at an ice cream shop if he was worried about the economy.
Our economy is strong as hell. Inflation is worldwide. It's worse off everywhere else than it is in the United States.
So you have a choice to make. You can sit back and relax like the president and act like nothing is happening, or you can be proactive and call Steve Auld of the Auld Financial Group and stop losing your money. Call Steve today and ask for that Stop Losing the Money plan, 636-230-8824. at 636-230-8824 or visit yourmoneymattersstl.com. Advisory services offered through Retirement Wealth Advisors, LLC, the All Financial Group, and Retirement Wealth Advisors not affiliated. Insurance and annuities offered through the All Financial Group.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The voice of the Billikens, KMOX. Always live in the free Odyssey app.
Let's talk real estate for a minute. The St. Louis market is kind of tricky for home sellers right now, with home values going down and not selling as quickly. Now is not the time to risk losing precious equity on your home. This is Debbie Monterey, and I always recommend calling Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria's the best. She's experienced every type of market, both good, great, and the not so good. So before you list your home for sale, call Gloria, and here's why. Gloria Liu will guarantee to sell your home at your agreed-to price and time frame, or she'll buy it herself, guaranteed in writing. Gloria already has the buyers, thousands of buyers in her database. In fact, your home may already be sold. Gary and Angela called Gloria and sold their home even before it listed because Gloria had several buyers looking for a home in that area. Call Gloria Liu today at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or find her online at gloriahasthebuyers.com.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news, KMOX.
At 12 noon, it's a cloudy sky and 48 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun. The news is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. Our top story this hour.
For the first time in St. Louis history, the top 3 decision makers of the Board of Estimate and Apportionment will be women.
The St. Louis Board of Aldermen has a new leader today.
Dr. Megan Aaliyah Green took the oath of office and made history.
Together with Mayor Jones and Comptroller Green, I am proud to be the final piece of our city's new She and a Board of Estimate and Apportionment with a new perspective.
Green says that she will approach her service with hope and a sense of great urgency. Maria Kina, KMOX News.
Getting back to class after last month's deadly shooting at a South St. Louis high school.
This is Kevin Killeen on the Collegiate School of Medicine and Bioscience side of the campus, where more than half of the student body of 336 is back in the classroom, back in their desks, learning in person after the October 24th tragedy. The actual shooting and bloodshed took place on the northern side of this campus at Kings Highway and Arsenal. The Central Visual and Performing Arts student body of 383 remains out on virtual learning, and it's going to take a little more time. The school district hopes that everyone can be back on the campus learning in person after the Christmas break.
A New York teen has pleaded guilty in a racist supermarket massacre.
19-year-old self-declared white supremacist Peyton Gendron has pleaded guilty to fatally shooting 10 black people in a Buffalo, New York supermarket last May. He also pleaded guilty to a hate crime charge.
We do not have a death penalty in New York State, so the life without parole is in fact the highest charge we have. And he got that automatically.
Erie County District Attorney John Flynn, the gunman used an assault rifle and drove more than 200 miles from his home to commit the murders. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
St. Louis County is launching an auto theft task force. Executive Director of the Municipal League of Metro St. Louis, Pat Kelly, says it's fashioned after the St. Charles Task Force.
Police departments started working together. Initially, they created what they call a saturation task force. And just kind of collaborate a lot more communication-wise on focusing on stolen cars.
Kelly says last year, St. Charles County reduced stolen cars by over 40%. It is Cyber Monday, but retail analyst Bert Flickinger says the numbers are progressively getting better despite inflation, adds it might pay off to wait a little bit longer before you buy.
The shoppers who wait the longest, wait beyond Cyber Monday and Cyber Week today, will be rewarded.
The First Mid-Bank and Trust Business Desk, a new national competitor for Schnucks and Deerbergs.
The chief executive officers of Kroger and Albertsons will testify before the Senate tomorrow about their company's proposed merger. Skeptical lawmakers say that could reduce competition among supermarkets. The deal would create a grocery giant with nearly 5,000 stores. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
Dow from Stifel's down 348 points. There's a crash on 6440 going east at I-170. Some debris 44 east at Grand in the right lane. A stall 44 west at 7th. That's on the right shoulder.
The southerly flow has opened up once again. A mix of clouds and sunshine, 55 this afternoon. Tonight, mostly cloudy, 42. Tuesday, warmest of the week. Windy, 64 degrees on Tuesday. A mix of clouds and sunshine. But cutting into that is a sharp cold front in the northwest flow Tuesday night. With it, periods of rain. Count on some thunderstorms being around. And it all ends as a touch of light snow or snow flurries. Don't expect much of that. And that would be really late Tuesday night. Windy and 30 degrees. So kind of borderline temperatures. Wednesday and Thursday, sunny. Cold stretch Wednesday and Thursday, 38. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray for the Voice of St. Louis. KMOX.
Sponsored by United States Air Force Band of Mid-America. Holiday concert. Right now, cloudy and 48 in Florissant, 50 in St. Peters, 48 downtown. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Get into the spirit of the season with a free holiday concert by the U.S. Air Force Band of Mid-America at the Two Hill Performing Arts Center on Friday, December 2nd at 7 p.m. Free tickets at twohill.org. That's twohill.org.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
It's the new show with Amy and Chris. The new show, it's like New Coke, but better.
It's what you call addition by subtraction.
It is, damn.
What?
Don't
What?
say that about Kevin. Kevin Wheeler is on
Kevin is no longer with us.
He's not dead.
but he's no longer with us.
He's no longer with you and I. You're correct.
Mhm.
He is now a part of the Dave Glover Show. The new lineup starts today. It's you and me, 10 to 1. 1 to 2, it is the Glover Show with you and me.
That's right.
So all the regular suspects are in. You got Glover, Wheeler, Rachel, Andrew, Amy, and me.
Yep.
That's going to be from 1 to 2 every day, and then Glover takes over 2. There's going to be a news hour sort of thing starting at 5 o'clock. So are they calling it Total Information PM?
I think so.
Okay. Well, it's just like Total Information PM. So
I say yes. I actually have no idea and have talked to no one about it.
okay. Well,
but I think it's TI.
it's going to be more newsy starting at 5 o'clock. That's the whole deal. Trish, as you may or may not know, has decided to cut back on her duties at Odyssey St. Louis. She's still with KEZK, but is no longer working on the Glover Show. So that's why things are the way they are. In the first hour, we talked with Pam Falk from CBS News about the situation in China and the protests that are happening there.
Do we have the audio from that still? It's pretty extraordinary because, there is zero freedom of expression, zero free speech in China. When you speak out against Xi Jinping or the CCP, you are taking your life in your own hands. And there are thousands and thousands of people protesting in the streets of China, protesting the shutdowns, and they're chanting down with the party, down with Xi Jinping, free Xinjiang.
共产党，共产党，习近平，习近平，习近平，习近平。
And you're right. This is just it doesn't happen there.
No.
People can't get away with protesting in that country in ways like this because there are pretty severe consequences. And so I worry for a lot of the people who are, but they've had enough.
Yeah.
They've had enough of the lockdown. And
we're talking the
these
strictest, most severe lockdowns where you are sealed in your apartments.
Still, this is so everything that some people used to complain about here during the first year or two of COVID, the first year and a half, really. I mean, once the vaccines became available and people started taking them, restrictions eased up all over the place. They did, but people talked and used the word like tyranny, like that there was a tyrannical government that was forcing you to. No, there wasn't. That what is happening in China, that's tyranny.
And you've said this, right, that you can compare our situation to the most egregious offenses globally. and say, yes, what we are facing is not even comparable to what they're facing, but it doesn't mean we can't push back
You
or
can't
want
expect better.
Right, you can expect better. But when you see the images from Shanghai from several months ago, when people were sealed in their apartments to the point that the government put up barriers and walls around apartment buildings in front of businesses, they didn't have the option of opening.
Right.
They were physically kept in their apartments, physically kept out of their businesses. If you were caught outside, even on your balcony at times, you could be arrested, you could be dragged away to quarantine centers. There were shortages of food and necessities like toilet paper and just everything you would need to live. People talked about toilets not working and having to bring in buckets, and you couldn't take your pets outside to go to the bathroom. I mean, it was such a cruel and horrific human rights abuse that happened on a scale that I can't even wrap my brain around. And now, believe it or not, watching the World Cup, seeing the global community come together and hundreds of thousands of people gather at these soccer games, that has also been a tipping point for the Chinese people, realizing, are we on a different planet than the rest of the world?
It's all happening there because they have a lousy vaccine and they refuse to use the good ones. That's what this is about. If they would just use what we have in the West, what Germany is trying to get them to do, and Pam Falk talked to us about that, then you wouldn't have the problems. You could be able to go about some normalcy. The rest of the world has done it. And what the United States did in the very beginning stages of COVID in 2020 and then into 21 was not unlike what a lot of the rest of the West did. A lot of countries had some restrictions, but to ever act like what we were doing here was anything like what's going on in China is just, it's silly because it isn't even remotely true. What's happening over there right now is insanity. We also talked about the United States and their game against Iran tomorrow in the World Cup. It is a very big game. U.S. has to win in order to move on, in order to advance to the knockout round.
And Iran beat Wales in an upset, which is why it kind of shook up this round a little bit.
It did. So the United States has to win in order to advance, but they got into a little bit of, I don't know if I'd call it trouble.
A kerfuffle?
A kerfuffle. Iran wants them taken out of the World Cup for putting a post up on Instagram, Twitter, and it was a photo, a graphic of the standings. And what they did was they put the Iranian flag, but they removed the Islamic Republic symbol from the middle of the flag.
So the stripes, the red, the white, and the green were still there, but that symbol of the Islamic Republic was removed.
So, and they did it in, it was their little, I guess you'd call it a protest. It was a statement that they made, really a minor statement, but a statement nonetheless that they stand with the women of Iran and all of the protesting that's been happening there because of the death of the 22-year-old woman who was in police custody, the morality police. She ended up dying there, and there have been protests ever since. And the United States national team kind of took it upon themselves to make this little protest. The team itself didn't know about it. The players didn't know. The coach didn't know. And here was an interesting tweet from the press conference earlier today. It says that they have now, the players have now been asked about, in the press conference, have been asked about systemic racism in the U.S., the American fleet in the Persian Gulf, high inflation, and why Iranians need a visa to visit the U.S., but Americans don't need one for Iran. Those are the kinds of questions that the players and coaches are being asked in press conferences, not about the soccer.
Yeah, it's, again, the U.S. State Department also told CNN that they did not coordinate with the U.S. Soccer Federation, and they had nothing to do with it. It just seemed random and performative and ineffective to me. I don't get it that on social media, here you have protests in Iran where people are being brutalized and beaten and arrested and killed because they are protesting the state-sponsored violence against women. And while we do want to stand in solidarity with the Iranian women and the protesters, you have the U.S. Soccer Federation, not in conjunction with the State Department or the players, just the federation saying, we'll take off the Islamic Republic symbol off the flag on our standings posts on social media for 24 hours. To me, this doesn't do anything. It doesn't advance the cause of the protesters. As you mentioned, it puts the players in a really weird spot where they're answering questions. And Iran wants the U.S. kicked out of the World Cup. I don't know how Americans would feel. And I know there's no moral equivalence between Iran and the human rights abuses there and the United States. But like, I guess they could smear the flag. They could do whatever on their social media posts. It's just ineffective. It just feels performative. Either like, don't go to the World Cup. I mean, that would be a big statement, right? And we all can understand how some of the athletes might not like that. That would be a statement. But just removing that symbol off the Iranian flag on the standings on your social media for 24 hours seemed like it caused a whole lot more trouble than it even did to support anybody.
I don't know if I agree. What's the trouble? What is the trouble to the United States? Like, nothing's going to happen to the team.
Does it?
They're fine.
What the players? Does it?
Yeah. I mean, they have to answer questions, which is kind of annoying for them, I'm sure, but they're still going to go play that game.
Do they answer it saying there's not, like, that the United States has so many areas to improve? There's injustice and inequality, but there's not a moral equivalency between the U.S. government now and the Iranian government?
The basic tone from the players and Tim Ream, one of the guys from St. Louis, yesterday, when they were asked about it, they basically said, we stand with women. You know, we stand with women's rights. And I think that's the appropriate message. I have no problem with it. A texter to 314-436-7900 says, when will we learn to leave politics out of sports? Just play the game.
Politics has always been in sports.
It's never not been in sports.
Right.
People say that all the time, but they usually only mean it when the players, the coach, whoever's involved does something that they don't agree with.
I mean, think of how the role that sports played in the civil rights movement and trying to break down walls of prejudice and racism and segregation. Sports and politics will always be
intertwined.
Will always be intertwined. This, to me, is just a weird, random thing. It's so weird that it was the Soccer Federation for 24 hours.
Yeah,
like you said, they're not even committing to the whole tournament.
They should have just committed to it. They should have just committed to it instead of backing off. They probably thought, we put too much on the players, but they should have stuck with it. Look, as far as politics and sports goes, one of the biggest rivalries in Missouri with Kansas is based in politics. It is an extremely old rivalry, the Kansas-Missouri rivalry. It goes back to the Civil freaking War. One of the largest games in our history as a country was very political. The Miracle on Ice in 1980 was hugely political.
And there is a hint of that tomorrow with the U.S. men's team versus Iran.
Absolutely, which is why it is going to be a very interesting game.
Again, I guess, Ranj, it's not that I don't think you should protest or I should say stand in solidarity with the protesters and the women in Iran. This seemed random, a bit performative, not really effective. And do they then... What should the U.S. Soccer Federation have prepared the players and coaches?
Yes, they should have told them.
Here's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Here are the questions you're going to have to field. Here are some answers that would keep the focus.
They should have answered for it. The Federation should have answered for it, not leaving it up to the coach and the players to have to do that. We also talked to Pat Kelly of the Auto Theft Task Force. Again, one of the major issues in the city of St. Louis and the region. Too many cars are getting stolen. Too many brazen acts of, I guess you would say, violent thefts of cars.
Yeah, armed.
Theft. Yes, and they are trying to do something about it, and he thinks we're going to start to see results, and hopefully that ends up being the case.
And a concern being that not only are these car thefts by armed suspects, but a lot of these thieves are minors. They're young people.
Also, we learned Amy has a boyfriend. Amy Marks Kors, Chris Ranji. You're listening to the show.
For everything online, it's Odyssey.com. Download the Odyssey app and listen to KMOX for all the news, sports, talk, and podcasts that move you. Odyssey, that's AUDACY.
This time of year, you might notice that the brick in your patio is going astray. Call Morelli. Hi, this is Charlie Brennan for Morelli Tuck Pointing, which has won every award possible in this industry, including the Better Business Bureau Torch Award, which is only given to companies with exceptional customer service. Morelli Tuck Pointing is the masonry specialist, serving St. Louis and beyond for 31 years. Morelli can do completely solid houses and buildings, spot pointing with color match, brick and stone repair, foundation repair, walkways, porches, patios, caulking, waterproofing solutions, and much more. Family owned and operated, and a lot of longtime employees that are like family. Call and request a free and quick estimate at 314-645-1387 or online at MorelliTuckPointing.com. And don't forget to check out their great reviews on the Google and Better Business Bureau websites. 314-645-1387 or MorelliTuckPointing.com.
Congress has authorized trillions in new spending, along with doubling the size of the IRS agency in just the last few months. Do you think that is by accident? No, it is with a purpose, to go after small businesses, employees, and individuals who have not filed or paid their taxes. If this is you, don't panic, just call. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm in St. Louis. Interest and penalties on your tax bill won't stop until you take control. Call me, Lance Drury. I'll tell you in advance an affordable fee, which includes costs and expenses that works for your business and family. Your first visit to the Lance Drury Law Firm is free and confidential, so you have nothing to lose. Call me today. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. You need an attorney. You need us, the Lance Drury Law Firm. Call me, Lance Drury, at 314-260-6120 or go to Lance, D-R-U-R-Y law.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
If you own a house in St. Louis and you want to sell it as is, without any inspections or the need to make any repairs, call Chris Buys Homes St. Louis at 314-328-8000 or at chrisbuyshomes.louis.com and get your cash offer without any obligations, commissions, banks, or headaches. Chris buys vacant houses, inherited houses, fixer-uppers, beautiful houses, even the tenant won't pay the rent apartment. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis. That's Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis, and check out the best reviews from satisfied customers. When you sell to Chris, you decide when you want to move, according to your schedule and your terms. Go to chrisbuyshomesinstlouis.com. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis or call 314-328-8000. That's 314-328-8000. Call Chris and get the offer you've been waiting for. Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis.com. That's Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis.com or call 314-328-8000.
Nearly a century of informing, entertaining, and serving St. Louis. KMOX.
Hey, you know what's great about today is that we haven't talked about Elon Musk at all.
Come on, dude. We did. Now what? What did he do this time?
Well, Elon Musk is
Loves. I think. Hold on.
He's throwing.
Let me stop you right there, real quick. Can we talk about the fact that Elon, for some reason, loves caffeine-free Diet Coke?
Yeah, that's kind of weird. And it was on his bedside table, so maybe that's
next
what he's
to the guns.
Yes, maybe that's what he's
multiple.
drinking before he goes to bed.
Okay.
That's why it's caffeine free.
All right.
So Elon Musk likes Ron DeSantis, and Trump had a dinner party. Just speaking about weird political bedfellows with Kanye West, and Kanye West invited Nick Fuentes, the white supremacist.
Which is okay. I mean,
that's like the best way I could describe it.
What else would you say?
Right. He got kicked out of CPAC. Nick Fuentes did. Am I saying it right?
What?
His name?
Yeah.
Nick Fuentes. Yeah. He got kicked out of CPAC because of his far right, very far right beliefs, very white supremacist.
He's a Holocaust denier.
He's a Holocaust denier. And he's a vile racist. And so Kanye West, who is also a Holocaust denier and anti-Semite, and vile in so many ways. I guess he is friends with Nick Fuentes. And when Kanye went to have dinner with Donald Trump, he brought Nick Fuentes. Now, Trump said he didn't know that Kanye was bringing him and didn't, recognize him when he showed up. And I will say, of all the stuff that Trump says, that I actually believe.
Well,
I
think
wouldn't recognize him if he walked down the street.
Well, I would imagine that Trump doesn't, probably doesn't know who a lot of prominent political figures are by face. And that's just because he doesn't, up until winning the presidency, he didn't live a political life. I mean, he got to be in contact with politicians, but I don't think that he would know who Fuentes is. I would defend him on this. He probably doesn't. However, I'm a little surprised that for somebody who is presumably a multi-billionaire, who has people, that those people would not have vetted everybody coming over to the house. But I could also imagine that he just doesn't do that.
Yeah, well, and my understanding is, Donald Trump, obviously not the president anymore. So it's not like they were visiting the Oval Office. And Donald Trump had Kanye West over. And when Kanye West shows up with his entourage, because a lot of times these celebrities have an entourage, if Kanye says, this guy's with me, he gets in. They're not going to
Right.
do a
They're not
background
gonna,
check.
You're right about that. But I mean, there are multiple layers to the weirdness of all of this. First of all, Kanye, who has sort of put himself in bed with some of the most vile people in the country. He's done this over the last couple of years. And I'm not necessarily talking about Trump, but I'm talking about people like Fuentes. This guy hates who you are. Why are you friends with him?
Yeah.
He hates fundamentally what you are to him. He hates you.
Yeah.
He hates you because you're black. Why are you?
It's weird.
I really don't understand what's going on with him.
And it's, again, just how Trump and this bizarre, Trump has tapped into the vile, grotesque, racist underbelly of the far right and has made them feel destigmatized, right? Because there should be a stigma on being a racist or a bigot. And, people think, I think poorly of you and you should be mocked in public circles. That should be there because you shouldn't be a racist and a bigot and an anti-Semite. But Trump somehow empowered these types of people, this underbelly, to be more outspoken, to feel that they are somehow the victims in this scenario. And it's very bizarre. So, the right wing or conservative host, Ben Shapiro, and he is conservative. He's Jewish. He gets a lot of, he's actually the number one target for online anti-Semitic hate. And some people have said, well, he was feeding the kind of the prejudiced side of things with his rhetoric, not the anti-Semitic stuff or anything like that, but just saying, well, you're supporting the right and this is what the right stands for. It's very bizarre. But so Kanye West is going after Ben Shapiro now because Ben Shapiro had criticized Kanye West for his anti-Semitism, his grotesque, flagrant anti-Semitism. And I will say this tweet from Ben Shapiro kind of goes along with what you said. And he said, a good way not to accidentally dine with a vile racist and anti-Semite you don't know is not to dine with a vile racist and anti-Semite you do know.
Kanye.
Yeah, Kanye.
So he
Trump
knows
dined
Kanye.
with Kanye.
Yeah. Well,
and Kanye brought Nick Fuentes.
I think there are further implications here, too, because there are far too many members of the Republican Party who have been silent about this. Kevin McCarthy being one of them, because he needs votes to win Speaker of the House, and which says he needs some vile people to vote for him. And he thinks if he speaks out against Nick Fuentes, that's going to cost him votes. That's alarming.
Yeah.
Amy Marks Kors and Chris Ranji. The news is coming up on the show.
Weeknights at 6. It's Sports Open Line.
Welcome into the program. My name is Matt Pauley.
Matt gets you inside the world of sports. Cardinals, Chiefs, Pelicans. You'll get it all and much more.
We have an exclusive podcast that's Cardinals related.
Plus great guests, insights, and conversations with you.
If you want to join us, you can do so by calling or texting.
Sports Open Line. You don't want to miss it. Weeknights at 6 on America's Sports Voice. KMOX.
How would you like to come home to a bartender who will fix you any cocktail you want?
I'll have an old-fashioned.
I'll have a margarita.
Now you can with the Bartesian Home Cocktail Maker. Bartesian is a sleek machine the size of a coffee maker that makes premium cocktails at the touch of a button. Choose from over 50 different cocktails, from classics to the most exotic premium cocktails served in the best bars today. You'll always get freshly mixed, perfectly balanced cocktails with the Bartesian Cocktail Maker. And now get Bartesian's best Black Friday deal ever at bartesian.com/cocktail. Entertaining? The Bartesian is ideal for parties. No need to stock all kinds of individual mixers for complicated recipes. Every guest gets the cocktail of their choice in seconds. The Bartesian makes a wonderful gift for anyone who loves a fine premium cocktail. Now get Bartesian's best Black Friday deal ever. It's available right now, only at bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail for Bartesian's best deal ever. Only at bartesian.com/cocktail.
Dr. Travis Stork here to tell you about a great pain reliever called Salonpas Pain Relieving Patches. Salonpas is pain medicine in a patch. You stick it right on sore muscles for up to 8 hours. Clinical research has shown that people that used Salonpas reported less pain with improvement in mood, sleep, and the ability to work. Safe, effective relief is one peel and place away. Salonpas, it's good medicine.
I'm so stressed about my business not being ready for the holidays. Ooma. What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 35 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Starts at $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
At 12:30, it's cloudy and 48 degrees downtown at the Arch. A Senate runoff election in Georgia next Tuesday will impact the balance of power in Congress. Over 90,000 votes were cast this weekend, with Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock and Republican challenger Herschel Walker campaigning as early voting continues through Friday. CBS News congressional correspondent Nicole Killian.
Control of the Senate doesn't necessarily hinge on Georgia anymore, but that doesn't mean that both sides aren't trying to make strong arguments for their respective candidates. In the case of Herschel Walker, we saw a number of Senate Republicans come down in support of him last week. And their argument was it's better to have this 50-50 Senate because that's going to muck up the works for Majority Leader Chuck Schumer.
COVID is gripping China.
Protests against COVID restrictions erupting around China. This is putting traders on edge, sending stocks lower this session. The turmoil has sparked uncertainty by complicating the nation's path to reopening. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
A founding partner of the Brown & Crouppen law firm has died. Ronnie Brown helped form the personal injury firm in 1979. He graduated from the University of Missouri-Columbia School of Law in 1967 and was named one of the top 100 trial lawyers by the National Trial Lawyers. There's a crash on Manchester Road going west past Mason. It's got the right lane closed. Stall 270 south past St. Charles Rock Road on the right shoulder. Stall 44 west past 7th. That's on the right shoulder. And the forecast is sponsored by Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm. Mix of clouds and sun today with a high of 55 degrees. Cloudy overnight, the low 42. Tomorrow's high 64. Some storms move in tomorrow night. It's cloudy and 48 degrees at the moment downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
Charging a cell phone can be like getting a booster shot. A booster is given to enhance or restore protection after a primary series vaccination, which wanes over time. Schedule an appointment when you are eligible. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
GetRefunds.com. GetRefunds.com. They can help you out if you are a business owner and you have 5 or more employees and you managed to survive the past couple of years with everything that the COVID pandemic threw at you, from shutdowns to inflation, supply chain issues, restrictions, and so forth and so forth. Now, if you could use a little bit of a break, GetRefunds.com can help you out. You could be eligible to receive a payroll tax rebate of up to $26,000 per employee. And it's not a loan. There's no payback. It is a refund of your taxes. Now, the team of tax attorneys that they've put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program and have already returned $1 billion to businesses, and they can help you too. They do all the work with no charge up front. They simply share a percentage of the cash that they get for you. And businesses of all types can qualify. So if you think that it's not for you because you took PPP, or you are a nonprofit, or you saw an increase in sales, even despite all of that, your business could still be eligible. To find out if your business qualifies, just go to getrefunds.com, click on Qualify Me, and answer a few questions. Getrefunds.com.
Driven by the Bommarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
And he scores! Holy unbelievable goal!
Blues holiday packs are on sale now. Create your own 5-game pack from a list of games that include giveaway nights, weekend matchups, and nights the team will wear the 2022 Reverse Retro jersey. Plus, get an exclusive Series 6 holiday sweatshirt when you buy 2 packs. Pricing starts at just $32 per game. Get more details at stlouisblues.com/holiday packs.
Your home of the Cardinals.
Arenado swings and hits it deep to left field. That ball is out of here.
The Billikens.
Jumper. Yes! Billikens win!
The Chiefs.
Touchdown! Kansas City!
We are America's sports voice, KMOX.
Oh, Amy.
What?
You serious?
I'm serious.
I had a whole thing I was going to say.
No.
I was going to tell people. Hold on. I was going to tell people.
Hold on.
Hold on, Amy. I was going to tell people
You see how he treats me? Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
how they can listen to us.
Sure.
So, of course, the traditional 1120 AM, 98.7 FM.
Along the 40 corridor, 98.7 is brilliant.
Yeah, 98.7. You can get it into Illinois too, but it's FM, so it sounds a little better. But you can't get it everywhere. But, you can be 5 states away and pick up 1120. Also, KMOX.com. You can listen live. And the Odyssey app, which is free, AUDACY.
That's
so
what
get
I
the
use.
app. Yeah, the app is great. Sounds great too. Except when we're talking. But then Amy said, we got Matt Pauley coming in, so hang on a second, Matt.
Just
Amy
hold your
said,
horses, Matt. You'll be fine. You'll
Matt
get on the
Pauley,
show soon enough.
KMOX
Standing
Sports.
by.
Yeah, he's right there. KMOX Sports fella, Matt Pauley. You know what? Let me bring in Matt on this
Okay.
because Matt, let me tell you what
You can talk now.
Amy Marks-Kors
Thank
just
you.
said.
Mm-hmm.
We're playing that we call it bumper music.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's called in the radio biz. And it's a very well-known tune. And Amy says, "Who is this?" And I said, "Are you serious?" And
Yeah.
she said, "Yeah, what song is this? We play it all
the time. Matt?
Matt, do you have a reaction to that? And you better
I
not
wasn't
say.
paying attention to the bumper music, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave,
Sorry.
can you fire that up again, or is it too late? It's too late for crying out loud, Dave.
But I know who it is, though.
I know you know
It
who
wasn't
it
Yellow
is.
Ledbetter, was it?
No, it was.
No. Okay.
Oh my God. Are you?
I
are
didn't
He
really
wasn't
hear it.
paying attention.
Come on. Yeah.
It's
He was-
It's the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
And
that's-
what song is that?
I believe it's Soul to Squeeze. Was it?
Huh.
I think
Okay,
it's the
hold
other
on.
side.
You can't like get all high
didn't
and
know- she
mighty
didn't
about.
know
Oh
who
my
it
gosh,
was.
I can't believe you don't know that song. And you go,
I sure
well,
as hell
I think
can,
it
Matt.
was.
I sure as hell can,
Thank
Matt
you,
Pauley.
Matt. Thank you, Matt. The people have made up their choice, and that is
No.
that Chris Ranji is an idiot.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not. That's that. She didn't even know who was singing it.
Okay. So again, it's the high and mighty when you don't for sure know the name of the song.
It was
Yeah.
Soul to Squeeze.
And here's what I can tell you. I was definitely listening to, in the 1990s, Amy Grant and the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Damn, dude. All right. We're moving on now. Matt Pauley, A couple of things to get in with you on this wonderful Monday. First of all, thanks for being with us on the new show. And
glad to be here. Is it Kevin Wheeler Freedom Day? Is that
oh my God, you have
no. Kevin's no longer with us.
Yeah, he's no longer with us. He has passed on to
Okay.
another show.
To another
He's
show.
passed on
But
to another show.
He is no longer with us.
That's
this
right.
is true.
Matt, so the Blues had a big comeback win over the weekend.
Yeah, they did. They were down big. I actually I had a few friends who texted me I'm turning this off. I got the I'm turning it off text message in the first period when they're down 3-1, and then all of a sudden they got things going. They put up 3 goals in the third period, and the most important thing was who was doing it. Jordan Kyrou had a couple goals in that game. Ryan O'Reilly scoring. It was the names and the people that you want doing things. So that was a nice win against Florida. I have no clue who this team is. They're going on long winning streaks. They're going on long losing streaks. They're getting down early. I have no clue. I have no clue who this team is.
Actually, I 100% agree with that. That's how I felt yesterday. This team hasn't established itself with an identity, with a brand. What type of team are they? Who are they? Who are the players having a great year? It's like stops and starts and stops and starts. And just when you think they're starting to gain some momentum, it goes in the wrong direction. But we're not messing around anymore. You're getting late enough in the season that they do need to figure this out, because you can't always go back to 2019 and say, well, we're the first in January. That's like a once in a lifetime phenomenon that happens with a franchise.
Or twice in a lifetime, because it's about to happen again.
Well, what's in baseball? We talk about Flag Day. That's a Mike Claiborne thing. Flag Day is when things really start mattering. Is it Jan 1 in hockey? Is that the date that we give where things start to kind of pick up and you really got to be who you are?
It might be the trade deadline. That's kind of late. I think it's maybe mid-January.
Okay.
So Martin Luther King Day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
MLK Day.
Yeah.
I think so.
All right, we have established it.
Well, but what's interesting about this is even with all of the up and down, don't know what they are, they're in 4th place in the conference. And
they're not to cut you. They're fine. That's the most important thing. They're fine. What you're saying is they're fine, and they are in perfectly good shape, and they can continue to kind of muddle through the next month of the season if they need to, and they're going to continue to be fine. They just need to find some consistency before we get to whatever date that we set, whether it's MLK Day or whatever it might be. At some point, they can't be just muddling through.
And I say conference, it's the division. I mean, they're 4th in the division, so I don't know. I don't love the negative goal differential,
because that will come back to bite you eventually.
Yes, it will.
If the season ended right now, they would be a playoff team. They would be in the final wild card spot.
Which is not saying a lot, though, for the NHL. Half the teams make the playoffs.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a lot better than if the season ended right now, they wouldn't be in the playoffs.
Well, that's true. Hey, Matt, I know you're not a huge soccer fan, but have you been watching the World Cup?
I have been a little bit, and I've caught the U.S. games, and I'm getting into it. It's one of those things where you don't really know what you're watching, but you're enjoying it, and that's how I would describe this. I find myself getting into it when they're into their offensive third, and they're getting some opportunities. I'm edge of the seat, standing up, making a little bit of noise. I am getting into it, and it's fun, and I feel like the country is getting into it as well.
Oh, yeah.
And I know how great of a soccer market St. Louis is, but I truly believe in it. I haven't been here for the last 20 years. I got back here 6 months ago, so I'm probably not the person to be talking about this. But to me, it just feels like the excitement of having MLS coming to St. Louis is just adding that much more to the World Cup experience.
Have you taken calls on Sports Open Line about the World Cup or any of the soccer games?
Not really.
Yeah.
And nobody's calling to ask me a question. What do you think about the strategy that the United States? Nobody wants to hear my opinion on that because I have no clue what I'm talking about.
No, that's all right, man. But I here's what I do know. This is not the sport. It's very similar to hockey. Fans of both sports are very intense, right? This is not the kind of sport to make offhand jokey comments like I did on Friday when I said, all I said was, it's really something that you can invest 2 hours of your of your emotions into a game and nobody wins it.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, if anybody who knows anything about soccer, this is a good yes, I know it's a good outcome. I fully understand that. The tie is fine. It's just it is interesting because of the sports in this country that we tend to really follow closely. You can have ties in football, but it doesn't happen very often. It's just interesting that this is one of those sports where a tie is fine with people.
Yeah, I did see a tweet from somebody and it was pretty funny, just saying, he said, like, I'm a soccer expert. Here's 27 reasons why the game ended 0-0.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
It's like, oh, okay.
Also, last thing for you, Matt, we'll move on from soccer here. Could have been a really big win for the Billikens over the weekend as well. They had number 13 Auburn and got to hit your free throws.
Yeah, 4 of 14 at the free throw line. You lose by 5. It's really a 2 or 3 point game because some of those extra points for Auburn at the end was when the Billikens were fouling. I'm sitting there watching that game yesterday going, SLU's the better team. SLU is the better team. And I would bet that they are not going to have another game this season where they shoot less than 29% at the free throw line. It's a missed opportunity, but I'd love to see them play again on a neutral floor, maybe in the NCAA tournament, because I walk out of watching that game thinking two things. I'm disappointed for the Billikens that they lose that game, but I'm optimistic because I think they're a better team than Auburn.
See, that's really the bigger takeaway. You'd like to have the win at this point late in November, but you did leave it thinking, okay, that team is, for all the preseason talk about how good the Billikens could be, you see a game like that and you realize, yep, they really actually are all the things that we thought they were going to be.
They can do everything, whether it's outside shooting, whether it's getting to the basket. I think defensively, it's been a little bit of a slow start this year for them. They have not been quite as good defensively as I expected them to be, but they've got a couple really good individual defensive players in there as well. And as the team defense continues to move forward, and that's something that sometimes can be a little bit behind what you do offensively. I really think this team has the makings of a long, deep NCAA tournament run.
Matt, what you got on SOL tonight?
Yeah, we'll talk a little Missouri football after they got bowl eligible, but they're already losing some players to the transfer portal, so we'll certainly get into that. We'll talk some Cardinals baseball. As always, I thought Benjamin Hockman had a really, really good column about what the Cardinals should do. And just the 1 hour show tonight. We're out early for Monday Night Football.
Appreciate it. As always, Matt, we'll talk again on Thursday.
Yep, Thursday indeed. See you guys.
All right, my friend. That is Matt Pauley. He is the KMOX sports fella. That's the name that I've given him. He's put it on his business card.
The SF, the sports fella.
Yeah. What? Okay. Amy.
You know, the first letter in sports is S.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
I got you, SF. 314-436-7900 to text into the show. A lot of people are either very happy for you that you have a boyfriend now, or they're upset. Or they're upset. I'm sorry. People are texting in.
This was not the news story. I thought we were going to talk about mac and cheese.
Let's do that when we come back. But this texter here says, I'm so excited Amy has a boyfriend. Who is he?
Oh, he is my boyfriend.
Good Lord, you're the worst. We'll come back and talk about mac and cheese. And there's a reason for it, because I love a good frivolous lawsuit. Amy and Chris on the show.
To some people, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much. But that's not necessarily true. By 6 months, they're combining vowels and consonants. By 9 months, they're trying out different kinds of sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on some meaning. Especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Early screening and intervention can make a lifetime of difference and unlock a world of possibilities. Take the first step at autismspeaks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
The Dave Glover Show is excited to partner with Hardee's and Operation Food Search for the Holiday Food Drive. While supplies last, stop into any metro area Hardee's and make a donation of at least $1 to benefit Operation Food Search and receive a limited edition DGS Holiday Bumper Sticker. All donations will benefit Operation Food Search to help children and families facing food insecurities. Get all the details about the campaign, or if you want to make an online donation, head to the KMOX.com events page now.
At Fisher Investments, our clients know we have their backs.
How do your clients know that?
Because Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, the highest standard for a financial advisor. It means we're there for our clients and always put their interests first.
So wait, you do it because you have to?
No, we do it because it's the right thing to do. Our clients trust us with their retirement savings, and we know how important that responsibility is. So we take the time to really get to know them.
Get to know them how?
We make sure we understand their unique goals, finances, health, family, and lifestyle so we can tailor their portfolio to their specific needs. Our goal is to help them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Sounds like a big responsibility. You must make big commissions then, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We have one single transparent fee that's structured so we do better when our clients do better. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you are switching to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE and frustrated taking pills that don't work, Paramount Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that effectively treat your problem. 98% of patients experience immediate results during their first office visit. And for a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Brown. The physicians at Paramount Men's Medical Center offer the most advanced treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Now men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Guys, to eliminate your frustration in the bedroom, call Paramount Men's Medical Center now to take advantage of this exclusive limited-time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free, and you'll see instant results right in the office. Call now, 314-720-8081. 314-720-8081. That's 314-720-8081.
Home Sweet Home mission is to give underserved families a sense of pride and to improve the quality of their lives by providing basic household furnishings. To learn more, go to homesweethomestl.org.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444. Chris Ranji.
Wonderful bones, great eyes, and you dress really interesting.
On the show.
Amy, I don't know if you remember in the early 90s, there was a really famous McDonald's hot coffee lawsuit that became the butt of a lot of jokes. And people thought it was ridiculous that she had sued for the amount of money that she did. And there was something like 10 million. It was in the millions.
But it really was a watershed moment in litigation precedent. I mean, it really was.
Well, here's the thing about that. It was not nearly as frivolous as people think it was. She did pull over. She wasn't driving recklessly and then spilled this hot coffee on her. It was too hot. It was near boiling point. And McDonald's knew that it was too hot because it was in their operations manual to make and this was again in the early 90s before they had the premium coffee and everything. It tastes better now. But they made it so hot because the hotter it is, it's not as difficult to taste how bad it is. Ugh. So that's why they made it so hot.
Burns your taste buds.
I guess. Like it just when it's cooler, you can get a better taste profile, and you realize, oh my God, this coffee is awful. And she did have some pretty nasty burns. I've seen the photos of them. All she wanted was for them to pay her medical bills, and they offered her $800.
Oh my gosh.
So
and she
anyway,
had like third-degree burns. It was bad.
It was disgusting. Like you could see through the tissue. It was really, really gross. At any rate, the reason they got to the number was they realized that they went through all of McDonald's coffee sales around the country for one day. And that's how they reached that multi-million-dollar number. It wasn't just some, let's throw 10 million out here. It was what they made in coffee every day. So it has to be punitive. And the reason you need to be punished as a company if you've done something wrong or injured somebody is so you can't do it again, or that you learn your lesson and you refuse to do it again. Well, I hope that Kraft mac and cheese is about to learn its lesson.
What did Kraft do?
Well, they lied to all of us. And here's what they lied about. They have Velveeta shells and cheese cups. Are you familiar with these?
Very much so.
They're delicious. On the box, it says it takes 3.5 minutes to prepare.
Okay.
They are lying to us, though. It takes 3.5 minutes to heat.
Oh.
Not to prepare. So the lawsuit, it was filed by a woman in West Palm Beach.
Because they have nothing else to worry about there.
That's correct.
Yes.
There's nothing else to worry about in West Palm Beach.
Yeah.
Is taking Kraft mac and cheese to court because they have misled consumers about how quickly their Kraft mac and cheese, their Velveeta mac and cheese cups take to produce.
Because it says ready in 3.5 minutes.
Ready in 3.5 minutes. But first, this is part of the lawsuit. It says first, consumers must remove the lid and cheese sauce pouch. Next, they must add water to fill line in cup and then stir. Then microwave uncovered on high for 3.5 minutes and do not drain. And then they should stir in the contents of the cheese sauce pouch. The defendant then notes that cheese sauce will thicken upon standing.
Which takes time.
It does take a lot of
What
time.
I like is how all the action verbs are in all caps in this lawsuit.
Well, have you ever seen like a
Sure.
court document? They do that. The plaintiffs are seeking at least $5 million in damages.
Wow. Because what was damaged exactly?
Well, you need to respect my time.
Yeah.
And if you Kraft Heinz Company do not respect my time,
yeah,
and you tell me something's 3.5 minutes, but it's really closer to 6 or 7, we have a problem.
Well, it's false advertising.
It is.
That's why not only are they seeking $5 million in damages, but that's including statutory and punitive exclusive of interests and costs.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about. Punitive.
So
you have to punish Kraft
Heinz
so that they don't pull this on us ever again.
This nonsense. This is how you stick it to the man. So Kraft Heinz Company did respond to the lawsuit on Sunday. They said, quote, "We are aware of this frivolous lawsuit and will strongly defend against the allegations in the complaint," end quote. That's editorializing. They called it a frivolous lawsuit.
It is editorializing.
Yeah.
They're going to be in serious trouble.
Yeah.
And they're going to owe Miss Ramirez a bunch of money.
If she wins this, will you follow up with a mac and cheese suit? Because I could use $5 million.
No, here's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I'm going to go through I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to go to Schnucks or whatever. And I will go through every product on the shelves. And I'll look at anything that might seem a little bit off. Like any instructions that might seem off. And then I'm going to take the product home and I'm going to test it out for myself. And if it takes me too long to make rice, I'm going to sue Uncle Ben.
What about when it says shampoo, rinse, and repeat? It never tells you when to stop repeating the process. You could go through a whole bottle of shampoo in a single shower.
Oh my God, you're on to something.
Right?
Oh,
it didn't
Amy,
tell you when to stop.
Do you want to go in on this with me?
Yeah.
Or I guess I should say, can I get in on
If
that?
we
Because-
go in together, is that make it class action or no? We're just two plaintiffs.
Yeah. I don't want to share it with everybody.
I know that's what I mean.
Like I would like to, I don't mind splitting $5 million with you.
Here's what we could do. You take your shower. I'll take my shower. We don't know when to stop shampooing our hair. We're late for the show. We suffer career consequences. That's damages.
Yeah. I agree with you. By the way, we're not sharing the bottle of shampoo.
No, that's why I specified you take your
I have my
shower.
own.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're on to something. Anybody want to get in on this class action lawsuit?
No, we
don't text us. Oh,
we
yeah, just
don't
you and
want
me.
it to be class action.
Hey, the Dave Glover show is coming up at 1 o'clock with you and me, Amy.
Woo.
We're going to stick around. You've been listening to the show.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet Store.
Hi, this is Arnold, owner of the Good Feet store. Does it feel like someone is stabbing